Imminent. Go throw them knees up in the air.
Nine, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throw it up, pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing downs over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL Live, tuning you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on the stream, 8 p.m. on the beat. Catch me on the cam like I'm SFL commish. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action. On a big screen, I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown.
What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And I have my two favorite co-hosts with me. Senor Diggy, how are you doing?
Good. Glad to be back for another episode. Had a little time off, so.
Hey, exactly. And Senor Eddie Gage, how are you doing, sir?
What up, dog?
Hey. Indeed. Guys, we had a lot of good things going on this week, including free agency signings. We had the whole schedule release show that just went off maybe about an hour ago. Fantastic content that came out of the SFL this week, including the SFLm games that occurred too for week 7. We're going to be going over our picks for week 8, and my 4th and goal interviews will include Mr. Ty Ptak, quarterback for the Adams. I have Mr. King Jackson. He is the quarterback for the Tacoma Grizzlies. And I have the Seattle Nemesis outside linebacker, Mr. Mathias Citrion. All right. So go get started with the good stuff. What was that?
Not me.
All right, we're going to get started with the good stuff. So the Adams took on the Tacoma Grizzlies, where the Adams won just barely, 18-14. The Adams had 226 yards passing, 120 yards rushing for 346 yards total. Time of possession was 27 minutes, 1 second, with one mistake. Tacoma had 233 yards passing, 30 yards rushing for 263 yards total. Their time of possession was 16 minutes, 59 seconds, with 3 turnovers. Ye Verdi was the player of the game, and that's their kicker, with 6 field goals made out of 6 attempted. Longest one was 40 yards. Gentlemen, what do you think about this?
First of all, I'll wind it up all together and say, what a week in the minors for kickers in general. There's a lot of those games for kickers. It was a big week for them this week. But starting off with, like you said, the Adams and Tacoma. Tacoma did a great job to start the game with King throwing a huge touchdown pass. Their defense did great holding the Adams to just field goals all game, and on the following chains of possession after they scored the touchdown, they held them to a field goal. After such a strong start, it was shocking to see, some of the offensive play calls and some of the offense just not being able to help their defense out after putting up such a tough fight. You know, they were able to score again in the second to make it 14-6 before the Adams were able to kick another field goal to make it 9-14 to go into the half. To me, other than the kicker, obviously, big shout out to Tacoma's defense to hold, the best team in the minors to only field goals. It was a great job by them, but a tough loss to take after such a big accomplishment. So,
Indeed. Eddie, you want to add anything to it?
Only thing I add, because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really see the action, but at least not. I saw it in spurts. But one thing I will say is that quarterback, King Jackson, that guy's energetic, man. Whoever drafts him is going to get a energetic dude who's very active in chat and, game chat, stuff like that. He's going to be a great addition to whoever picks him up.
Indeed. You're actually going to hear from him tonight. Great dude. Like, totally hit it off. The Madison Lynx took on the Lexington Miners, where Madison, Diggy, I know you're happy about this. Madison won 19-3. Lexington had 116 yards passing, but only 16 yards rushing for 132 yards total. Their time of possession was 18 minutes, 36 seconds with 2 mistakes. Madison had 216 yards passing, 101 yards rushing, 317 yards total. Their time of possession was 25 minutes, 19 seconds, 1 mistake. Switch Thumper, quarterback, was the player of the game. 21 completions out of 41 attempts, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, and a quarterback rating of 64. So, Diggy, I know you're pretty happy about this, and I would think you may agree with me when I say that Madison definitely had a more balanced game than Lexington.
it was good to see more running from Madison early, and I remember us saying it took them 5 weeks to get to 100 yards total rushing on the season, 5 weeks, and for them to get over 100 in one game is good. So, like I said, seeing them get the good mix in early and get the run going was awesome. Lexington showed they really focused in on the passing game because they know Madison's going to come out and throw. They did a great job defending a lot of those passes. The defense for Madison is fun to watch as well. It was great defensive game by both teams. Actually, it was, if you like, the defensive side of the ball, this was the game you wanted to watch this week. Being 6-0 at the half, and it continued to be 3-6 at the end of the third. The first touchdown of the game didn't even come until the opening plays of the fourth quarter, as Madison didn't give up on the pass and ended up finding the end zone in the middle there. And like I said before, this was another big game for kickers. So it was a fun one.
Okay. Eddie, based on the stats, did you have anything to add to that?
Not necessarily, but one thing I will add is that I did not realize until yesterday that Madison, I knew they were pass happy, but I didn't realize it was to this degree. The fact that they're only averaging 19 yards a game on the ground, you just wonder if that's going to come back and bite them in the playoffs when they start playing the tougher teams more consistently, being so reliant on that passing game. When you're ahead, I saw them playing, and I'm like, why are they not rushing the ball? They just kept passing when it was obvious they should be running the clock out. And I said, it's only a matter of time. Maybe not, we'll see. But if they lose the playoffs, they're going to look back at that predictable offense as maybe the reason why they may have lost.
Good stuff.
That's another thing I was worried about too. Like Eddie said, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. People are kind of keying in on this offense. They know what they're going to do when they come in there. So I was really glad to see them start out with a decent amount of run this last week. So hopefully, like Eddie said, maybe they'll pull the carpet out from under somebody and really run it down their throat next week. Or maybe they're going to wait until the playoffs. But for Madison to be undefeated at home this season so far.
Of course, you're happy about that. It's good to have a balanced game. You got to keep people on their toes, I should say. So the Annapolis Navigators took on the San Jose Flight, and the Flight won 17-7. Navigators, or my Navies, I should say, had 235 yards passing, but only 12 yards rushing for 247 yards total. Their time of possession was 19 minutes with 5 turnovers. The Flight had 144 yards passing, 104 yards rushing for 248 yards total. Time of possession, 24 minutes, 56 seconds with 2 mistakes. Player of the game was outside linebacker Stan Diamond. 1 interception, 11 tackles, no pass deflections. Gentlemen, what do you think about this game?
Struthers did an amazing job spreading the ball around before he threw a couple picks, one of which I don't fault him for at all. It was a crazy computer thing that rears its head every once in a while. The ball ended up resting on one of the defenders' backs, and the other team grabbed it before it hit the ground. So it was one of those crazy plays that you see. But Ronnie has been blowing up this year in the minors, but it seemed like an off game a little bit for him. San Jose did a great job on the defense containing Ronnie this week. I don't know if Bacon showed up to practice with a little extra weight, but San Jose definitely put him to work in this game. They really relied heavy on him, being 14-0 at the half, which was nice to see. What was nice to see was after Thump went down, their defensive tackle, San Jose's, the next play, the backup came in and got a sack, and then the very next play, they got an interception. So it was a good job on that defense stepping up when somebody went down. Struthers saved Annapolis from a shutout with 3 minutes left in the game by throwing a huge passing touchdown to Harleman, the guy that just got picked up by Baltimore. So
good stuff. Eddie?
I feel for Jay during these times because Annapolis, they seem to be in every game, but they end up falling up short, and it happened again this week. It's like that first half, they're in it, and sometimes they even have the lead. But come the second half, their offense just doesn't seem to travel with them, and they lose leads. And it seems like every week it's the same thing. They take an early lead only to lose it in the second half. And I got confidence in Jay. He's been coaching down there for a while now. And this season, they're not going to make the playoffs, but I'm confident, with the experience he's gathered, at some point he's going to, figure things out and get a playoff berth.
Okay. Good stuff. I mean, he did learn from one of the best, so. All right. So lastly, the Ottawa Cavalry took on the Lincoln Rattlesnakes.
You mean Baltimore? When he was in Baltimore, he learned from one of the best.
Yeah.
He was in Baltimore his first couple of seasons. That's what you talking about? He was in Baltimore.
I'm sorry, was he not just on our team?
But did
I miss something?
You said one of the best, so I assumed you were talking about Baltimore.
No, I was talking about you, man.
Oh, me? I'm all right.
Yeah, you all right.
Yeah.
All right. Lincoln took on Ottawa Cavalry, and Lincoln won at 28-7. Ottawa scored 200 points. I'm sorry. Ottawa had 200 passing yards, 56 rushing yards for 256 yards total. Time of possession was 47 minutes, 53 seconds with 1 mistake. I had to make sure I read that right. Lincoln had 198 yards passing, 227 yards rushing for 425 yards total. Time of possession was 16 minutes and 7 seconds with 3 mistakes. Player of the game was Logan Lee, halfback, with 12 attempts, 205 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 13 reception yards. I'm sorry. Did I read this right? Okay. Ottawa had the ball longer and scored less than... Please explain.
Ottawa did a great job on defense, and it's not like looking at the score, it doesn't describe the game really at all, I don't think. Ottawa's defense did a great job. They just got caught. Okay, they got caught on a couple plays. One was by Logan Lee, who made a huge break. the defense acted like it was going one way, or the offense acted like the ball was going one way, and it switched out. And Logan spun one out and ran like 70 yards for a touchdown. And then again later, he broke one off on a great block and ran 70 yards for a touchdown. And then he still wasn't done because he broke a 50-yarder for a third touchdown. So having over 200 yards before the end of the half. So Ottawa's Lakeman was able to hook up with Knight to get Ottawa on the board to end the first half. But Lincoln came out to open up the second half and was like, hey, Slider's still got a pass game too. So he ended up throwing a touchdown to start the second half, and it just they kind of held it together, but weren't able to recover from those big plays they kind of let break loose on them. So it was an exciting game still. I mean, anytime you see somebody break one off for 70 yards or get 3 big rushing touchdowns like that in a game, it's good.
Great ball to watch. Eddie?
Lincoln has the second best points per game average in the minor leagues, yet they're 1-5. So when you talk about the fact that, they dominate time possession, that may be true, but it also depends on what you do with it. Are you dominating time possession and selling for field goals, or are you putting up 6, extra point pending? So yes, I mean, you can dominate it, but if you're not putting points on the board, it's going to put a lot of pressure on your defense. And this, like I said, they're scoring, almost 30 a game. But when they're scoring only, almost 20 points a game, but they're giving up 30. So they got to find that balance and find out what works for them, because it seems like on paper their red zone defense, their red zone offense is letting them down.
Good stuff, gentlemen. Good stuff. This leads us over to week 8. So now please note on the website, it does say the 1st. It will not be on the 1st. It'll actually be on December 8th when these games will take place. But the Lincoln Miners will be taking on the Annapolis Navigators at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Gentlemen, who do you have?
You said the Lincoln Miners?
Did I say Lincoln? The
Yes, you
Lexington
did.
Miners. My bad, y'all. The Lexington Miners will be taking on the Annapolis Navigators at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and still pick, even though we are so far off behind on the pick 'em. So we'll just count it as a win for me. And
Negative.
nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's saying nothing. It's been decided.
You are
Lexington
muted.
versus Annapolis. I'm going to pick Lexington. Lexington played against a tough Madison team last week, but the defense, I think, played very well. Annapolis, I'm sure, would love to end the season with another win, as it really wasn't the season they had hoped for, nor I wanted to see from them, because I remember telling you earlier I thought they'd turn it around. But again, for their part, it's hard to lose such a monstrous piece at the running back position and then try to make some of that stuff work with somebody that's a lot lower coming in and trying to figure out a new game plan. So like Eddie said, we'll see who comes back down next season and what they can kind of work. And hopefully it's a big turnaround for them next season. But I'm going Lexington.
Okay, Eddie, who you got?
I'm going to go the opposite. My man Jay down there, you know what I'm saying? I got to support him. I know they're 1-5, but like I said, they've been in every game. Jay, I'm pulling for you. I got Annapolis winning this one.
I think based on the performances that I've seen from both teams, I think that Annapolis is actually going to wind up eking out the win on this one. Both of them have struggled this season. And I was just reviewing the games from going back to week 1. Both teams struggled. But I think Annapolis has the even though they are missing that key piece that you mentioned, Diggy, I think that their defense is going to be the one that helps win the game for them for this one. So I'm going to Annapolis. The Tacoma Grizzlies will be taking on the Lincoln Rattlesnakes at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Gentlemen, who do you have?
Hang on, where are we at? Tacoma
and Rattlesnakes. Tacoma and Lincoln.
Okay. Lincoln did beat Tacoma week 1 by 1 point, but that was a long time ago. Looking forward to this one. Both teams have had some great games despite the record. Tacoma stayed close with Madison as well as Ottawa, and I think they have a better defense, but they need to fix that offense this week for sure and come away with a win. They're both battling for a chance to stay alive in the playoffs. There's a chance, but that opportunity will only present itself if both Ottawa and Lexington lose, I think. So that would make them all, I think, 3-5. So it's a must-win game for either one of these guys to even have a chance to get in. But I'm going to go for Tacoma.
I'm going to Tacoma as well. Lincoln had to show up that defense. Tacoma gets this one.
Yeah, their home field advantage, their home cooking for Tacoma is definitely going to make a difference in this game. I'm also going with Tacoma. Game of the week for me would be Madison Lynx taking on the Albuquerque Adams at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. That is going to be a fantastic game to watch. Very competitive. I think that it is going to come down to who has the ball last. And Albuquerque barely won last week, but I'm gonna have to roll with them this week.
I'm gonna go ahead and go second because I'm gonna go ahead and go second because I already know what team Diggs picking. I mean, that's a given. So, he picks them every week, no matter who they play. They could be playing the Baltimore Vultures. He gonna pick Madison to win. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Albuquerque to win this one, just because I know who he picking.
Shame on both of you. It's a battle for who will truly be the number 1 team in the minors. It came down to the last week. So Madison does have to play lights out on defense and keep Slap contained. They also need to put some more points on the board than they've been putting on. So they need to not stall out in the red zone and settle for field goals. They need to get the 7 points. And there's not much to say about the Adams. I mean, they need to keep doing what they've been doing, putting points on the board and finding ways to win. But I'm going to stay true to the alumni.
Of course he is.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's a battle. They both are tied for the most championships in the SFLm. So get it out of their system. Knock them down.
Adams had more. I thought Adams had one more. Okay.
I think they're tied.
Okay. I'm sure somebody gonna fact check us in this
because Madison
Madison
had the most championships until the Adams won last season a title.
Okay.
Check it, Eddie. Fact check it.
I know, right? Because you know it. You know he is. And Ottawa Cavalry last game. Ottawa Cavalry taking on the San Jose Fight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have, gentlemen?
I'm going Ottawa, but Ottawa's going to have to open up the bag a little bit more and really come out swinging if they want to win this one, and they need it. They need it because if they win and Lexington loses, they've secured a playoff spot. So San Jose Flight needs to play a strong defense like they did last week and keep the offense going as well, because we already got 3 confirmed in there, right? Madison, the Adams, and San Jose. So if Ottawa wants to get in, they need this win, and they've blocked it.
Well, I gotta apologize to Will Todd, love you, bro, but I think Ottawa's gonna win this one. I'm picking Ottawa.
Okay, and I think that San Jose Flight is gonna sail on, but we're gonna see how well everything shakes out. All right. Quickly, we're gonna go over our hot topic question, and it comes from the chat. I mean, it comes from the suggestions channel. And it comes from, see if I can read his name, Lucas DeVoe. Looks like he is the free safety for the Denver Nightwings. And he says, I don't know if this is a thing already or how it would work within the portal, but if there could be any way to implement trades in a way, I think that could be really cool and potentially spice things up in the league and create some interesting storylines and such. So, Eddie, you like you had a lot to say about that.
I had a little bit to say about it, and
Gave me nightmares.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. That's a little bit. Okay.
a little bit. So I don't know. I mean, I get that it adds some extra flair to it, and so on and so forth. But like I said in the conversation piece, imagine yourself on a team that's 8-0 and on the verge of having a a bye week in the playoffs, and an easier road to the chip, and all of a sudden you wake up out of bed one day, look up, and find out you've been traded to a team that's 2-6. You're not gonna be too happy. So it sounds good for the guys who are watching, but if you're the actual participant and you go through that, man, after paying that subscription fee all season, and you wake up and find out you've been traded to a bottom feeder, no, bro, I can't.
Okay. Diggy, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I told Eddie after reading that he can't be telling stories like that because it gave me nightmares. Couldn't go to sleep. But I mean, especially, I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, when you're thinking about it, but then you have to think of everything else. Like it was said in there. I mean, we're paying to play. We're not getting paid. So if I'm paying my own money, and I woke up and something like that happened to me, I mean, how long do people wait to try to get to the championship? And you're like, man, I finally got a chance.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that sucks. It'd make me want to quit.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, oh, no, time to cash out.
Yeah.
But maybe I don't know. Maybe Eddie can elaborate a little bit more because there is, I guess, in the rules stuff, the trades like for like draft picks or something. I remember.
That's during the draft, not during the season.
Yeah, you can trade the draft pick stuff.
And see, there's another problem.
Yeah.
What if that one guy has a value of 110 and the other guy has a value of like 70? It's not going to make sense because now the person who's getting the higher player, they're playing with house money. That's an additional 40 points to cap.
Mm.
Yeah, that throws a wrench into it too. Somebody mentioned that. Well, what about the cap stuff?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say no on it because there's not a way to really make it fair and work on it like that. And especially, that's Cam's big thing is everybody's paying to play. So if you don't like where you're at, you can go somewhere else. Or, people find a way sometimes now to work themselves into a position where they can play with a friend or play with a spouse or play with somebody that they looked up to in the league for a few seasons and dreamed about playing with. So you worked your way there. You finally get there, and then, hey, it was nice having you for a couple of games, buddy. But
right,
we can't pass it straight up. So
it's not you, it's us.
Could there be a no trade clause in your contract? Sign your contract. I mean, so it's a lot of stuff that could go into it, but I'm just going to say no for now. But I did have a question about the draft pick, since we're talking about trading stuff, like the draft pick trades, how that works, or does Cam have it set up as a point system? Like each draft pick is worth so many points, and to get a higher draft pick, you have to give up other picks that would add up to an equal value for that higher pick.
It has to make sense for both teams. It can't be lopsided. You can't trade. Let's say you got the number 1 overall pick. You can't trade down and get, say, the 30th pick and maybe the 43rd pick. It can't be a 2-for-1. It has to be 2 and 2. And so when I say it has to make sense, you have to have like a number 1 overall pick and maybe the 29th pick, and you trade it to someone who has maybe the 7th pick and maybe the 38th pick. So while you're trading and giving away that number 1 pick overall, you're trading down because you feel that guy at 7 is still going to be there, but you're trying to get that guy who's getting picked earlier in the second round versus later in the second round. So that other team is giving up. It has to make sense for both sides.
Well, I was just getting ready to ask you, well, what's the real benefit to doing the trade at all? Just pick him where you're going to pick him.
You got to hope that guy falls. Because say, for example, a few seasons ago, Arizona, we picked Bernard Smith and Max Knight. Bernard Smith was highly coveted back then. Max Knight, people knew him, but he wasn't being sought out like Bernard was. And I was scared Bernard wasn't going to fall to. So I was scared somebody's going to pick him up. I was like, man, please, bro. And I think we had something like the 18th or 19th pick, whatever the heck it was. So when he fell to us, I was like, sweet. But if trade was around back then, I would have easily traded up to get a higher pick to get Bernard, because I had a feeling that Max Knight was going to be there that second day.
That's a risk either way, though. It's a
risk either way.
When you're trying to draft people and even when you're putting together your boards now, Diggy, you don't have to have that experience. But man, it is stressful when you're trying to make sure that the person that you've been talking to, that you cultivated a relationship with, actually comes to your team. Not to mention if somebody just happens to snag that person right before you get to them.
Tough.
That's like you want to choke somebody, bro. But like, you know, that's all a part of the game. And I think that it would make a great storyline, you know, for people to get traded, things like that, like in the real game. But a lot of times, well, I would say sometimes, people in real life, when they get traded, they want to be traded to another team. They want to go somewhere else. And you run the risk of, like you guys were both saying, losing that person in the league, period. Because like, oh, you just traded me to somebody that I don't want to go to. What happens if they don't really mesh together with the locker room? Or what happens if other factors that people are not thinking of would actually come into play? Then you're like, okay, well, now I'm stuck with this person and I traded for him.
So you have to look at too, kind of like you just said, would the trade be final no matter what? So just to say you don't trade me to somebody else, and I'm like, man, screw that. I'm just gonna leave. And then you traded something away, you got me, and I dipped out. You don't got nothing, and you gave everything away because I didn't want to play for you.
Okay, exactly. So it's a risk. I'm telling you. You over there eating some greens, and you over there eating whole turkey legs and stuff, and people trying to explain stuff, and you just over there just.
I heard every word y'all said.
Did you jerk turkey legs and
people? Hey,
it's jerk turkey.
You may have heard what we said because you got these on. But everybody else at home that's watching this show only heard.
Right. All right. So now.
It's on.
See,
I'm trying to take some of my food off my plate.
There you go. I told you. So
I love you, baby.
Quickly, guys, the Scorpions schedule just came out for the schedule resigning. So I think we got a fantastic schedule. And just for everybody to know.
Hold on, what makes a fantastic schedule?
Fantastic because we got all of these teams that will help sharpen us. You know, iron sharpens iron. So my thing is, okay, first of all, let me just let everybody know who we have. We got Canton week 1, Denver week 2, Queen City week 3, Motor City week 4, London week 5. Really looking forward to that one. Las Vegas week 6.
Why are you looking forward to the London game?
Bye week 7.
I'm just trying to get some clarity. I don't know.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Bye week 7. DC week 8. That's going to be a Monday night game. Looking forward to that one too. San Diego week 9. Carolina week 10. Baltimore. Looking forward to this one too. Week 11. Bye week on week 12. Charleston and Las Vegas ends our schedule. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the teams that we played in the definitely the team that we played in the championship that we lost to in Baltimore. Definitely looking forward to playing London for all of the smack they like to talk. DC is
Who
going to
is
be
they?
You already know who they is.
No, I'm trying to get some clarity. I'm older, so my memory is kind of shorter.
Okay,
Who is
well,
that?
just go back and read the chats.
I don't have that kind of
know who they
time.
are.
I got to start scouting.
Okay, you better. San Diego is also going to be a good one. You know, for us to play. DC, the Diggy Bowl, as some people was talking about in the chat. Did you see
They
that,
said
Diggy?
that? No, they said the
Yeah,
Diggs Bowl. They didn't say the
they
Diggy
said
Bowl.
no. He said the Diggy Bowl.
Who
I
said
promise you.
Who said that?
I don't know who said it, but I saw it.
A man said that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. He needs to be fired.
What? Don't be like that.
The
Don't be
Diggy
like
Bowl.
that.
I'm not calling another grown man Diggy. I'm
You
sorry.
did it many times on the show.
On
Anyway,
accident.
but you still did it.
That's because he feels it right here.
He feels it.
Where's my chapstick at?
Yeah.
Stupid. So what do y'all think about what do y'all think about the schedule? Who are y'all most looking forward to playing?
I'm actually excited to play Canton. It's a team that I haven't got to play yet. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to some of those games, playing some of the teams I haven't actually got to take fielding. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting to play against QCC. I'm looking forward to getting to play against Hubba over there in Vegas. I'm looking forward, to getting ready. Like I had made a comment in there to Churchill over there when DC's schedule came out. And
I
said,
saw it.
I
What'd you
said,
say?
I don't want to have to lay out my friend, but
Oh, dang.
come across.
I was like, oh, okay, Diggy.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. It'll be a good game. But,
Oh yeah.
I think ending out with the Vegas game will be a good game to end on. A good, strong game to end on.
Definitely.
Now, Diggs, before I give my answer, a moment ago you said you can't wait to play Vegas. Why is that?
I like Hubba. You know, playing with him in QCC and just having a rapport with somebody over there.
Oh yeah, that was your teammate. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. He's stayed in touch since QCC. I know he gets busy, but I mean he's a good dude. So I'm looking forward to playing some of those former teammates this year.
Week one I always hate. I hate week one because you don't have film on people, don't have a clue what they're gonna do. So I always hate week one. Other than that, of course, my divisional games. Queen City, they've beaten us 2 seasons in a row on the last second field goal. I think they were walk-off field goals. So I'm looking forward to those games. London, I like Liam. Me and him real cool, you know. We DM each other before and after every game. He a real pro. But there's one particular dude on that team who is allowing one particular person on our team to live in their head rent free, and I'm getting up. It's extra satisfaction if we can pull out that W. The fact that one particular individual was clearly rooting against us when we played Florida, so much so that when he thought the game was over, he put yes in all caps with about 8 exclamation points, only to find out we came back and won that game. Then for him to tell, or for him and whoever else on that team told another individual they were glad that they got the Scorpions because they felt they had a better chance at beating us than they did against Florida. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. Okay. So none against Leon, he a class act, but some of them guys over there, one dude in particular, come see us, bro. Vegas. No comment. I'm gonna let that one go. DC, you know, that's my big homie over there. He one of the guys who introduced me to the league way back when. San Diego's a divisional game. Carolina got a lot of friends over there. That's gonna be a tough game to play because you know me and Harish cool and some of them other guys over there cool. Baltimore's gonna be a rematch. I wish we'd had it at the crib, but Cam never gave us the damn good games at the crib. Charleston is going to be up against Jay. He going to have freaking 10 games on his belt of coaching in the pros by then, so he going to be ready for us. And we coming off a bye and so are they, so both teams going to be fresh.
Well,
Maybe end the season with Vegas again. So, it's a good, a lot of good games in there. And, man, even though our offseason has been shortened because of our deep playoff run, it seemed like the season just ended. And now we are looking at the schedules like, damn, bro, I'm getting no damn time off from coaching, I swear. But I'm looking forward to it, man. We got a great group of guys and gals over here, and got some energetic people with Skinny on the roster. With Justin on the roster, we got a Williams brother and Diggs here over here on the roster. So we got some energetic people who are going to be blowing the chat up. So that's one thing I'll take pride in. Real quick, true story. When I was playing in Houston, I want to say it was like season 12, something like that. We were playing, and Cam was calling the game. And at one point, man, we had like the whole team in the chat. And Cam said, damn, look at all these hyenas in the chat. And I said, damn, if I ever get my own squad, I want something like that to happen. Well, the whole squad up in there talking. So that's what I was looking for when I got guys like Skinny, despite, the rep he got from that one little incident. I love what he do, repping his squad and the social media stuff. So I know he going to be blowing up the chat and social media content. That's one reason why I got him for that. Diggs, I got him because I knew he'd be a great GM over there coaching the minors and been active. So plus I knew he participated in the video chat. So when he was in DC, so I'm looking forward to that. Man, I'm just looking forward to a great season, man. And hopefully we can make amends. It's tough getting back there, but it's a process. I'm gonna take it one game at a time and see what happens.
That's all you can do. Now, before we slide over to my fourth and goal interviews with these great players, who surprised you? Yeah.
Hey, I just sent y'all both something. Why don't you check that out? That's what you, yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, there you go.
That was perfect. I wish I could put it up, but I don't want nobody getting in trouble. So before we slide over into our fourth and goal interviews, though, I got one question for you, and name one player that surprised you. Now, Eddie, I know you're gonna be touching on this in great detail tomorrow on your show. Say it with your chest at 9 Eastern. The free agent frenzy that occurred. Name one player that surprised you. Maybe they went to another team that you weren't expecting. Maybe you saw them going somewhere else and they actually surprised you. I have one. That was Ike McBride going to Carolina versus going to San Diego. I just knew for some reason she was just going to San Diego. Don't know why particularly. I just had that feeling, Dave is a hustler. He will damn sure try to get you. You want a good contract? Come on over here. But Skippy wound up getting that. Skippy wound up getting Ike, and that was a great pickup for Carolina. I think that's definitely going to enhance their team.
I agree. One player that stuck out for me was actually a player I actually recruited and turned us down. And from Jacksonville, free safety Stuart Zamaya, he turned down a starting job with us to go, and he actually switched positions and moved from safety to corner, but he's going to be the nickel corner. So he's not even a starter. So kudos to San Diego and their front office to making that happen. But for him to turn down a starting job with us to go and be a corner, a number 3 corner on another team, that speaks volumes to what they preaching over there because he's bought in and made the commitment to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after watching the free agency show and Eddie and Chad, which was fun, I was honestly surprised to see Sipe go to Mexico.
Who? Sipe, yeah.
Yeah, Sipe going to Mexico.
Yeah.
That one surprised me. I thought
Eric Price was going to go down there.
Hmm?
I thought OJ would go down there. I don't know, but We'll see. We'll see what happens with everything. It just goes to show, anybody can be given a chance to come out and redeem themselves, and hopefully it works out for everybody.
Yeah, that could be the theme of this free agency, redeeming, starting back on the good foot. All right, so we're sliding over to fourth and goal interviews coming right up. What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker, my fourth and goal interview featuring Mr. King Jackson. He is the quarterback for the Tacoma Grizzlies. How are you doing today, sir?
That's right. Man, I'm all right. I'm chilling that major. Just, honing in the road, getting ready for tomorrow.
Is that a scorpion on your shirt? Is that over there?
Nah.
I was getting ready to say.
See, not. Hey, I like y'all though. You feel me? But nah, this ain't that. This is I got this offline. I think I was on Instagram one day, but it's like a zip all the way up thing. So
Nice.
it go all the way up to cover my face like a Bape hoodie.
Oh, okay.
If you know what Bape is?
I've seen it. I think so.
Man, I got a Coach Bape hoodie too.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you over there. But why would you want to cover up all them waves that you got going on over there, sir, that you didn't try to take care of?
Take a picture. You just want to take a picture with it zipped up just to show them folks, like, yeah, I got a face on my jacket. You feel me?
I feel you. Well, you pay enough for it. You better show it off. Okay?
Yeah, I like high fashion.
All right.
That's my problem. That's my problem.
Well, besides high fashion, let's get to know you a little bit. So, where are you from, your hometown, your age, one interesting fact about yourself and your favorite NFL team?
Well, see, I ain't gonna lie, you might have to repeat some of them questions because you went kind of fast. But you say, okay, I'm from Georgia, right? I'm from Noonan. It's a small city. It's a small city called Noonan. It's like 30 minutes away from Atlanta.
Bro, I'm from College Park. I live in East Point, so I know exactly.
Swear to God. Oh, that's crazy. So you know where Noonan is?
Yes.
Oh, you got to know where Noonan is.
Because y'all have
like
golf carts out there, y'all driving and stuff. So yes.
Whoa. No.
Peachtree City, Noonan, yes.
No. Noonan is not Peachtree City. Peachtree City. Peachtree, you don't do that because Noonan is not that. Like Noonan is more of like how could I, okay, so like it was like California is like something that everybody knows. So like you got like Los Angeles, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Union City and Sharpsburg and stuff like that. Noonan is more of like the Compton version of LA. You feel me? Like it's like it's got its good parts and it got parts that look nice, but then again it's like rough too. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I'm from the rough part. So don't sit here and just try to make it seem like it's just rainbows and flowers now.
Hold on.
It's not.
I wasn't exposed to that side. I was I had a boyfriend at the time. This was many moons ago. But I had a boyfriend
years ago.
Many years ago. I had a boyfriend that stayed on the side where everybody driving golf carts. So I'm thinking like, hey,
he stayed in the good part. But so like the thing is though, like I went to school in Noonan and then I got into a little situation and then I ended up having to go to the school in Sharpsburg and it was literally Northgate and it was across the street from a golf course. Like, and everybody that went to that school had big houses, the new cars, and I was looking around like, what is really going on? Because I ain't never seen that before. You feel me? So,
it is good to get out and just explore new things, explore new areas, and explore just different things that you're not used to, because it does give you an appreciation for everything and it expands your knowledge that everything is not the same. Like even for me learning that there was another side to Noonan that I didn't know about. that I just learned something new tonight, you
You
know?
just
So
learned something new today. Yeah.
exactly. So what is your who is your favorite NFL team then?
Oh,
Of course.
Patriots.
What?
The Patriots.
Wh-
The
What?
Patriots.
How,
I'm
bro?
a top. I'm a top. Listen, when I like, okay, like I'm 25. Okay, one of your questions was how old am I? I'm 25. I just turned 25 in September. So
I'll have it belated.
thank you. In September 24th, Libra gang or whatever. But um, when I first started watching football, it was like probably like '04 when I was like 8 or 7 or something like that.
Mhm.
And the first team I ever seen, like I ever watched play, was the Patriots. And then I ended up watching them play the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So like
Mm,
ever since I was a kid, that was like the only team I've ever watched play. And like every year, every Christmas, my mom used to give me a new Patriots hat. And you feel me? So like that's been my
yeah.
team forever. Like I know everything about the Patriots. Everything. There's nothing that I don't know. So it's some people that don't like the Patriots, that's fine. But hey, I'm a a New England Buck right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
okay.
that.
So I
Yeah,
guess the Falcons wasn't doing it for you, huh?
I've never been a Falcon fan. I
It's
I ain't
hard.
gonna I
It's hard, bro.
honestly like it's like not. I mean, cause being from basically Atlanta, like I was grew up like watching Vic and stuff, but for some reason I like Tom Brady better.
Could it be all the rings? Could it be his, you know?
He only he only had like one. He only had two at that time.
Yeah.
But it's just like
But you like
I
who
don't
you
know.
like. I get it.
I like winners, man. And Vicky exciting, but Tom Brady is a winner. He got that. He got that thing. You know what I'm saying? He got that something that you just got to have. It just got to be in you. It
Well,
just got to be in you.
since you know all about the Patriots, man, you're gonna have to have another conversation. I'm gonna have you back on because I
Who your
got
favorite
some.
team?
I got the Bears and the Falcons.
Oh, you like the Bears and the Falcons? I like
The
Justin
Bears.
Fields though. I like
Yeah, but
Justin
they not
Fields.
letting him do his thing. That's a whole that's a whole nother
His
conversation.
receiving core not that good though. He ain't really got no weapons.
So that's why I'm saying we're gonna have to come back because I'm very opinionated about that. But
Right,
what
right,
we are here to do is talk about you, and I'm trying to get some information out of you so people can get to know who you are as an
right.
individual. I mean, you already got a great name, Jackson. You know, last name is just
Facts.
Jackson. You
Real
know, so
name. That's my real last name too.
oh, cool. And I think
I've been
that
King.
mhm.
I've really been King Jackson since I was like 12 years old. No cap. Like I was like 10. Like I know I keep going off script, but
It's
off
fine.
script with these random stories. But like 2K.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know what 2K is.
mhm.
Okay, boom. The basketball game though.
Yeah,
Like I grew up playing football, but I was only good at like 2K. So like when I used to play people, like this before the Warriors don't start shooting threes and all that, I used to go get the Thunder with KD on there when I had KD and Harden
yes,
and Westbrook.
yes,
And
yes.
anytime I was on the fast break, I would stop and I'll pull up for the three, right? And I'll just scream King Ball. You feel me? I'm like King Ball, King Ball. And my brother don't used to hate that jump, but I just you feel me? So I was the Warriors before the Warriors was the Warriors.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Wish I could have seen
Mm-hmm.
some. I wish we could see that in in real time. You
I
actually play
know it.
ball in real time though, or like in real
I
life?
play.
Or
I played football actually. I played
so
football my whole life.
really? So what position?
Running. I played. Well, I always started at running back and quarterback, and I played defensive end, and I played middle and outside linebacker. But my main position was like running back. I only played quarterback in middle school, and like
Mm.
I and in ninth grade, I made the JV team as the quarterback too. So yeah, but I really was a running back for real.
So why
Like,
didn't you
yeah,
continue?
I was a knucklehead, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, trying to, when your friends don't play sports and they be at the bus stop talking to all the you feel me, all the people and stuff. Sometimes sometimes it's easier to go do what they doing than go sweat and work hard and you really gotta have that dog. It gotta really be in you to really do that football stuff for real. Cause like once I got in high school and I made JV or whatever, so like I was good, but like I never had to work hard. Like I was always naturally good. And like I was always kind of like bigger than everybody else because like ever since like the fifth, sixth grade, I had to be like 5'6", like 5'7". Like I've been 5'10" since like middle school. So like I thought I was gonna be like 6'2", 6'3". So like I was always a big kid. So I never really had to work hard. I always just was good. But like once you get in high school, it become a job. And
Yeah.
I would rather go do something else than go work hard and but it is what it is.
Right. Exactly. You know? And you just decided to take another avenue. And hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. Uh those hits hit different when you get older and you ain't gonna
Oh
be
my God. What? Them hit like when you in ninth grade and you gotta practice again. Like if you're in JV, like I went to Nuna High, like Nuna High, like Alec Ogletree who played for Georgia. Alec
Mhm.
Ogletree, Trey Matthews, uh then we had this dude who played back. His name was Russell Power, but he played basketball and ended up taking his team to the NCAA tournament.
Mm.
So like Nuna High got some, but yeah, it's some more players too. But they kind of went like like we had a player who went to Army. Then and Nuna High right now, it's a running back named Bryson Moss that played for Eastern Michigan. He started for Eastern Michigan right now, and he went to Nuna High too. So like Nuna High got like players that went there. So like, think I had to go up against like 12th graders like them, like Trey Matthews and Alec Ogletree, and yeah, it was just nah.
Yeah, I would have went and set my ass down too. Like, hey, nope. Mm-mm.
They
Mm-mm.
going to Georgia and Auburn, and yeah, it was just nah. It was nah.
Nah, I get that though. I get that. So is
Yeah.
what was you joining the SFL kind of like reliving those times just at a safer distance for you, like being a quarterback and
I I I I, I feel like I feel I'm when I first joined, I did not realize how invested your emotions be into the games. Cause like when it be something going wrong, I be sitting there like, bruh, what the I be wanting to just throw my phone sometimes, like but it like I enjoy the ups and downs,
Mhm.
regardless of the fact, because like it's a good, you're gonna be upset after you lose, but like once that wear off, you be good. But like it is kind of like reliving like them football memories for it. It kind of made me wish I was back out there again sometime.
Well, I think that's why people, some people use aliases as their player, but like people, for instance, like me, I wanted to use my name because Ashley's not getting ready to go play for the Cardinals or for the Falcons for real. I'm not getting ready to go out there and take them hits in real life. But I do
Right.
want to hear my name. I do want to have my name called and be able to make those plays and having to apologize to the team like, hey, I threw about like 7 interceptions, but
I done seen you throw a couple in one game.
man, man, it happens, bro.
And
But
and you really feel like, bro, I know y'all probably don't watch the SFLm games, but like the first game of the season, we drive all the way down the field and like it's 20 seconds left, and for some reason my dude waits until Rob gets to the back of the end zone and then he turns around and stands there. Then my dude throws a jump ball and that shit. And he threw it right directly to the cornerback pick. Man, that jump really like game one, I realized how serious it get for real. Yeah, for
but it's the
real.
emotional
That
content that you're paying for, though. That's the reason why people pay to play, because like for you to feel that, for you to go through that drafting process, for you to get added to a locker room, for you to hear the announcers call your name and it be like that live feeling like you're really there. For instance, when we were just in the championship recently, and we did our
Yeah, I
player
seen.
intros. And like, I would have never thought that I was ever going to be doing a football player intro, you know?
Right,
So
right.
it's moments like that, man, that make it all worthwhile. And for
How did
you,
how did it how did it feel?
bro, it remarkable, like exhilarating, exciting, scary. Because when you're going against the, 3-time champs, you better put on your best show. If not, you're gonna get blowed out. So
You got a ring? Do you got a ring?
it's crazy. I don't have a ring with my current team, but Baltimore, the team that we lost to, they gave
Uh-huh.
me a ring last season. They gave me one of their rings last season.
And you got a real one. Like they give you real rings, like send it to you.
Yes, like heavy rings. It's really
Whoa.
cool. It's really
I want
cool.
one. I want one for sure.
Well, you got to get on the team and make a difference, man. You got to get on the team and make a difference, so y'all can get that.
I'm waiting on that call. You feel me? I'm
I
waiting on that call.
Yeah, I definitely understand. And being a quarterback in this league, there are
It's
instances where
cutthroat.
it is, but when people know you and they know they see your build and how you perform on the field, of course, but like we were talking about off camera, your personality and the way you treat people, the way you vibe with people really matters here. And it even more so nowadays because um you can be a player, a great player, on the field, but have a sucky attitude, always after people in gen chat, always doing stuff that will embarrass your team. Or the vice versa, you can be the person that's always in general chat, living it up, doing this, but your player sucks. So you want to get a comfortable balance, but I'm thinking that personality will outweigh the actual performance on the field because that's how you interact with people. That's how you interact with your own teammates.
Yeah.
But it's good stuff, man. So you've been here for a while now. What is your favorite part about being on Tacoma?
My favorite part about being it's a lot. I honestly have it's too many to really just name one
Well,
to
name a
be my
few.
favorite.
Name a few then.
Well, uh well, it's like, see, I don't even know where to start. You feel me? Because like it's the brotherhood we share. You feel me? It's like when we lose and how we come together as a team to, you feel me, to like bring each other up. The way the way we have I'm one of the leaders on the team too, but like everybody is a leader. You feel me? So like we have like when I'm feeling down about a game or something, we got like Jacob Creech or like Matt Brown, they'll be in there trying to motivate us, or he might hit you with that. All right, you got like 30 minutes to feel bad for yourself, and then we back at it again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even stuff like that, like it make you laugh because like you right, like we ain't got time to be pouting. We gotta just get out there and get after the next game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I guess my favorite part would be the the relationship that I've built, you feel me, with my guys, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Indeed. That is important. And what you'll find is that you'll take that same camaraderie with you when you go to the majors. Those are still going to be your brothers, even though you're all probably spread out across the league. You're still going to be cool with that. You muted. Oh,
Nah, I was
okay. So,
nah, I'm listening.
um, but yeah, you're gonna have that friendship, that kinship for a long time. Some people, have never met each other in real life can get a chance to hang out here. Like we have someone named Bread he's in Hong Kong. We have people from Albania, we have people from of course Mexico, from Italy, from all parts of the world. And you
Yeah,
probably never would have met these people unless you came here, unless you know, interacted with them. So it's a beautiful thing, you know.
you meet a lot of different personalities for sure.
Definitely. Now I know that you're a rookie and you probably want to enjoy your season. I get that. You want to kind of see your player play out and things like that. Even going into the majors, you know. But I was wondering, do you want to do anything else within the league besides being a player? Like, do you want to try out for maybe doing stats for your team, or maybe doing some social media graphics, or anything of like broadcasting or anything like that?
Um, I actually kind of want to. I actually kind of want to get into coaching a little bit. I'm not even gonna like like being able to draw up the game plan and watching your artwork be executed and be, you feel me, like
Yeah.
watching somebody be able to Picasso your artwork on the field, or being able to like have know that all the guys on your team got all the faith they put. Because like at the end of the day, we could have our players maxed out. Like you could have a player that's like 200 or whatever, however high it goes, but you got to depend on the coaches to pick the right plays and the right playbook and the right mix of run and pass to be able to actually win. So like you being the coach, really everybody got their faith in you, honestly. So like being able to have all these different personalities have their faith in you, and then you go out there and you put them in the right plays, the right positions to where y'all could get a win. Can't beat that. Really. And the closest thing to that is playing quarterback, honestly. I feel like
Okay.
playing in the SFL, like all the positions are like very valuable. All of them are very valuable, but I feel like there's just nothing like playing quarterback. Like that,
Hmm.
I feel like there's nothing like even in real life, like playing like when you're the one who got the ball in your hand and like you're the one that they're looking to make the plays. Like you feel me? And then when you actually come through, you can't beat that because even though nobody's gonna really give the quarterback the credit, they're gonna give everybody else around the quarterback the credit for real. They only give the quarterback the blame. You never get all the credit, but you get most of the blame. And sometimes you be sitting there like that really not fair, but that's just how life goes. You feel me? So like you got to have a certain type of mentality to play the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying?
Short
Because
memories is
you,
definitely one of them.
yeah, because you can go out there and be a receiver and be a part of a passing game, but when you're the quarterback and there's an interception throw, the receiver could even run a route and then get bumped out of the route or overrun the ball or anything crazy could happen, or it could drop the ball, boom, intercept. It's not gonna show up on nobody's stat but the QBs. You feel me? And they gonna be like the QB threw the interception. They ain't gonna say, oh he. You feel me? It could be like 2 games later. They ain't gonna say, yeah, you remember he dropped the pass. They ain't gonna remember that. They just gonna remember you threw an interception. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you gotta you gotta you gotta you gotta be really built for that to take that criticism. Okay, even when people is not blaming you, you're still being blamed in the back of their head. They're just not saying it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be feeling. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm
Hey,
being blamed.
yeah. And you do have to remind yourself at times that it is a game, but heavy head that wears the crown, I mean,
Right.
when you the
King
king,
Jackson, you
that
feel me?
exactly. So you gotta go through some stuff sometimes, man. But
Right.
yeah, I've seen it both ways where you do get those accolades, for having a clean game. I've had uh or all your completions made, things like that. So you do get a little bit of that credit, but you just feel bad because you're quote unquote the leader of the offense. And if you have an off game, then 9 times out of 10 everybody else is. You're not handing that ball off right, or you're not connecting with your receivers downfield. That could easily be marked in your book like, oh, just not ready for it, not ready for the big time. But yeah, you got to be strong in the grand scheme of things. But
You really do. You could be Baker Mayfield one day and Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes next day.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, what type of personality should a team expect, to have when they have you in their locker room?
See, like I'm kind of like, and I'm kind of like I ain't gonna say like I'm not emotional, but like I really like I be putting like me personally, I'm a competitor. Like I'm a competitor. So like we could be thumb wrestling. We could be playing the game. We could be outside racing. We could it don't matter what if we're competing. Like I don't even know how to bowl. I don't really know how to play pool that good, right? But if I'm playing you in pool or if I'm playing you in bowling, I want to win. You feel me? So like you gonna get a competitor. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm not one of those. I know how to accept responsibility for what I do wrong. Like I know how to say even if I feel like you like okay, I was watching ESPN and Shannon say a quarterback is the person like even when you thinking something, you still got to say the right thing regardless. Like you got to be that person to say, as the leader of the team, you got to be that person. Even if you feel like it's not, you can have 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and still lose the game. You can't go out there and say, I did this, I did that, and we lost. Because then everybody be like, oh, you're a selfish player. You know what I'm saying? So even if you feel like you're not at fault for the loss, you still got to go in and be like, I didn't make enough plays. It's really on me. You feel me? Like I could have did more. You know what I'm saying? I could have had 6 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to through the wins and losses, you got to be in there and you got to be able to work on what you did wrong. You can't never get too high, never get too low either. You feel me? So like I feel like I'm a fiery leader, you know what I'm saying? Cause you feel me? I really get into the game. I be intense, but at the same time, I'm not gonna point the finger at nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person to like let like you feel me like not finna really argue with my teammates or like make problems in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like you feel me? Like
I do.
yeah.
I do.
So I
Actually,
get
I do.
so I guess a word I would use like you feel me like a fiery leader, you know,
Okay.
a strong personality, but I'm one of them people like you got to be able to listen to somebody. Like even when you don't want to listen to somebody, you still got to be able to listen to somebody. You got to be able to that's the word, humble. You feel me? Because I'm humble. Like you got to be able to humble yourself to be able to listen to somebody who know more than you. You feel me? And who wouldn't know more than you besides your coach? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and we encourage, at least I know Arizona does. Um, I'm sure most teams do this, but some teams are different. We encourage you to ask questions. Most teams are probably putting up player suggestions or how they would want you to progress. But ultimately, you are the patron. You're paying your money. So if you see that you want something else, or you would like to concentrate on something else, then you can do that. But just understand that with doing that, you may be changing the landscape of what your coach is trying to do. So it's a balance, right? And hopefully you have the coaches to where that are guiding you in the right directions as well as, in regards to your player build and in regards to your progressions, because progressions are extremely important for your player's ability. If you spend all of your points on animations, you look pretty, but you play like crap because your core, the things that make you who you are, isn't right. You got to get that right first before you add all of the extra hardware, as I like to call it. So it's important, man. But what do you expect out of the team that's going to draft you? Like what is your expectations of the possible locker room that you're going to be going into someday?
Mm, well, mm, I, I, I really honestly, I'm just going. I'm wherever I go, whenever it's my time to go. I'm gonna go in there with open mind. Like, I'm not gonna really go in there with too many expectations. You feel me? I'm just gonna go in there with an open mind and try to. Like I can't. I'm gonna go in there with an open mind and try to fit. I'm gonna go in there and fit into their culture. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever culture the team has built before I got there, I'm gonna go in, fit into the culture that they already built, and just become one of the guys. You feel me?
Yeah.
Not try to get to know the team better. Try to you feel me get better relationship with the new teammates that I do end up with. Hopefully, if I do end up getting drafted, you never know. But so just go in there with an open mind, try to get to know my guys, try to build relationships with them. Because you could honestly like with okay, like Rob, for example, he plays receiver for Tacoma, and his dad got sick right before one of the games, and so everybody, you feel me, like everybody was like, "This for your dad," you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, "Yeah, my dad watching the games with me and bro, stuff like that." So everybody was like, "This game for you," you know what I'm saying? And if it was really just about the game and and if it was just assembly, then that's probably something he wouldn't even share. You feel me? So the fact that he felt like we was like a real brotherhood, that he'll share something personal like that, you know what I'm saying? And then like I think somebody else won player of the game, but coach gave Rob the game ball, you know what I'm saying? Just because you feel me, what he was going through, whatever, And then so like it, like
Yeah. That's
man,
it's an amazing feeling. I lost my father a couple years ago, and they dedicated that win to us. And that's the game I was telling you that I threw 7 interceptions, dead ass. Threw 7 interceptions that game, was supposed
oh
to leave it.
shit,
4 went to the same person, Bob Funk. I will never forget it.
whoa,
And we wound up winning that game. And
how?
I
I don't
don't
know how y'all won that.
because
That
they dedicated it to my dad. That's what I was always saying. They dedicated
that
it
yeah,
to my
yeah,
dad because there's
yeah.
no way. There's no way.
I don't,
Otherwise,
that's a miracle game right there. No cap.
indeed,
That's
man.
special though. But me, I grew up in a single household, so like I never knew my father though. My mama
Got you.
raised me and my brother on her own, you feel me? So
Yeah.
but I always wondered what it'd be like, but you can't never really just get too caught up in your thoughts and stuff. So you just gotta play the cards that you're dealt and just keep on keep on pushing. You know what I'm saying? So I never really let that part really like just get to me or anything. But I am sorry to hear that you lost your father though, because I know it is hard when you lose someone close to you. Because I lost my little brother when he was 19 years old. He passed away. We found his body actually at the post office down the street, and when we found him, his whole body was decomposed, like it was just his bones. And we found out it was him from like his dental records and stuff.
Mhm.
So but we really don't know what happened because we never like got an autopsy or anything like that back or whatever. So but yeah, I lost my little brother at 19. Like it was he been he been passed away now, like I'll say like this is like year 3 now. Yeah. Like, but I ended up getting like his name tattooed like right here on my
Yeah.
shoulder. And then right next to my grandma, she passed away too when I was like 12. So I got her name right here and I got his name right next to her, you feel me?
Right.
So yeah, so I keep my angels with me. And I got my other granny name. You can't see it now, but I got her name right here. She passed away when I was like 8. But I was her favorite grandchild though. So I was always around her, always with her, you feel me? So like
Yeah.
I know what it feel like to have to deal with tragedy. So
Well, you know, my condolences to you and your family, man. And I know that even though that was years ago, I still pray for peace of mind for you and your family, things like that. So Um, just, a couple more questions before I let you go tonight. Um, how are you with the
Man,
trash talk? How are you about trash talk and dealing with adversity? Hey, your team ain't winning the games you're supposed to be winning, and you got people mad in the locker room, got people talking smack out there in the chat. How do you handle that? Especially being a
well,
quarterback.
well, I'm not. I honestly, I feel like when it comes to trash talk, like I come from like the hood, so like trash, like trash talk to me and what we do in the chat. I feel like we don't trash talk in the chat. I feel like people might say a little this and that, but you keep it you keep it censored in the chat, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do too much. So I feel like we really don't trash talk in this league. But like I mean I actually kind of like the atmosphere that we have here because, like I say, I'm in a Discord chat that's real toxic,
Toxic.
and
Yeah.
I personally prefer this one because being in here and then going into the other one, you realize like I'd rather be over here, not even having to deal with all the extra. Because some people will get extra, get to talking about outside the game, and that ain't got nothing
Mm-hmm.
to do with what's going on with what we got going on. So why is they even being brought up? So like, I prefer it over here, but I love some trash talk when like trash talk that got to do with what's going on, like not the outside stuff, but you feel me? Like I
Right.
love trash talk. I wish I could do a little bit more trash talking, but I can't. But it's okay though, because it's cool. But I when it comes to people talking about the way the team performed, I don't had to deal with that. This did like Tacoma, we're like 2-4. Like, I mean, we're 2-4, but like I'm like fourth in passing yards, and I'm second in completion percentage, fourth in passing yards, but it's like we're 2-4. So
Mm-hmm. You
and
can't celebrate like you want to.
I really don't even want to celebrate. I'm like because like I like to be number one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not even celebrating being number four. It's like I'm playing pretty okay, but like it's not translating to wins. So like I'm always like I could do more or whatever. So I have came across some folks that be like, how are you good? Y'all 2-4, or how are you the best quarterback in the minors and you're only fourth to pass. Like you feel me? Like, I don't have to deal with that too. And you will get defensive sometimes, but I feel like it just gonna motivate me and drive me to, you feel me, not miss my progression because okay, I might be fourth right now, but I'm finna keep grinding, you feel me, so I can be first. Or my team 2-4 right now, but like I just reached silver, so it's like, yeah, we 2-4, but like now I'm silver, you feel me? So now we finna win some games. Like, you see what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
just motivates me to want to do better. That's all it is. I like it. It turned me up.
All right. Cool. Good to know because you definitely gonna be tested. I'm telling you. Like you said, you've been tested already. It's gonna keep going. So,
Yeah,
but
I've
that's
been
dope,
tested
man.
already.
As long as it's as long as it's, I always say as long as it's respectful, I don't mind it, because you know how far to go. I think everybody has a filter. Whether you will use it or not is, the question. But, in the grand scheme of things, you know how far to go. And then I don't think your coaches and the owners will allow you to go too far away. You know, they shouldn't anyway. But
Right.
um, so far, what is what is your favorite part about being in the SFL? Period. Not just from the SFLm standpoint, but like all of it. Because I see you out in general chat sometimes too, talking to everybody. So
I just be out there chit chatting, man.
yeah, yeah.
But my favorite part, I'm not even gonna count. Like honestly, my favorite part is watching the games. That's like it's like I'm in the NFL. Like you feel me? It's like the closest thing to being in the NFL because like and it's like okay, you do have the NFL, but like to us, this is the NFL. Like I feel like the minors is kind of like college, and the majors is like the NFL. So like this is our college and NFL, really. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
So yeah, but game day is my favorite. Like I love watching myself out there play. Like, and then when you're the quarterback, your name is always being called. So like, yeah, game day for sure, for sure.
Definitely. All right. I like that. I like that. So, um, Tacoma Grizzlies. So, who is the funniest person on your team?
The funniest person on my team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of funny. I think like I'm not like to tell you a joke, make you laugh. I'm more of like just just natural funny. Like it's a different like I can't just go be a stand-up comedian, but like just talking to you, like some of the stuff I say you'll just be laughing like and
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, like I make my friends laugh all the time when we just have a regular conversation, but like I can't tell them no joke. So I think I'm pretty funny. But like I like honestly like in Tacoma, we really don't have nobody that just be like telling jokes and like making everybody laugh. Like everybody, we're not really, we're really more of like a chill. We're more of like a chill organization than uh like a funny ha type organization. I don't know how to describe, but like so y'all me. I'm the funniest. Cause I'm the one in there that try to keep it light. You feel me?
I got
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
I got you. So, who's the
Yeah,
most serious then?
cool. When you said that, the first name that came to my head was Jacob Creech. I'm not like it. I'm like or Matt Brown. Like for some reason, I guess it's a linebacker thing. Like I don't know, but them two, I think they got to be like the most serious out of like the whole team for real, for real.
Okay.
Like, but you know, like Rob Hunt, like we're all serious, but like them two, they're like yeah, them two are probably the most serious people we got in the group chat. But
Okay.
they cool though. They cool. Don't let me just do that
None.
because they real cool though. They
No,
just
it's
mean
good.
business. They just
Right.
mean business when it's time to mean business. You know, I'm the one that's kind of like kind of silly or a little goofy or whatever. But I think that's because I'm younger than them. So I think they're older. I'm not sure if they're older than me, but like by the way they act, and I feel like I'm probably like the youngest one on the team. So like I'm the one that try to keep it light, and they the ones who be like, y'all get your progressions in, or we like one time he was like like we got a game today, we got a game tomorrow against I think the Adams. Yeah, the Adams. Cause my cousin play on the Adams. He TJ Assassin. Yeah. So he play
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Adams. He the defensive end. So yeah, we playing them. So like he was like, yeah, I'm the scout. I think it was Creech or Brown. I can't. I think it was Creech though for real, but it might have been Brown. I don't want to just get them confused. But like he was like, yeah, I'm scouting for the next week game, and but he didn't say next week game. He said the team we're playing next week, and I said, nah, we playing the Adams. He was like, no, I already did my scouting for them. I'm scouting for the team next week already. Like he was just so serious. I'm like, oh my bad. You feel me? Good. That's some good coaching. You know what I'm saying? But he was just so serious with it. So yeah, it got to be him for sure.
Nuts. Nuts. Last one. Who's the most talkative person on the team?
Me. I think me. Not for me, I think because I mean, yeah, I think I got the loudest mouth on the team, honestly, because everybody else is. I think my personality is like so loud that I got enough personality for all of them that they just sit back and be like, okay, okay, you feel me? Me definitely, yeah, I think. Yeah.
I could think
Them
of a
my
couple.
guys though.
I could think of a couple teams that you would be perfect on, to be honest with you. But I don't think
For
they
real,
have that
shout me
quarter.
out.
But
Shout me
they
out.
don't have the opening. They don't have the opening on the
Li-
team.
Listen, sometimes you gotta. Sometimes as the owner, you gotta be the rent man. You feel me? You gotta pull up like, okay, you was renting, but I got somebody finna buy the house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you feel me? Nah, I was just playing. But I mean, hopefully one day I will end up on the team. I've been talking to a few teams. I ain't just gonna say no name because
Please
I don't
don't.
want to.
Please don't,
Yeah,
because voiding
that
contracts and stuff. Don't. Mm-mm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna say no names or no teams, but I have been in contact with a few teams. But like, I feel like only like two teams actually took me. Like, actually was like really liked me. You feel me? And but right now, like as far as it goes, like I'm really like in serious talks with like one or two teams for sure right now. So I might end up out there with you next season. We just got to see. But
Okay.
if I don't, I'm gonna dominate and win a championship in the minors for sure.
I
But
love
you
that
might
attitude.
see me.
All right,
You might see me
I
now.
love to see it.
You know. You
I
might.
would love to. I would love to see that, man. I really would. And that's one of the reasons why I do this. You know, I have everybody on the show, whether you're owner, GM, fan, y- player, no matter where you are in the league or what are you doing. If you want to be on, because everybody has a story to tell. And I think a lot of times when people take the time out, especially the teams that are in looking at you, they would probably learn more from you just looking at you and watching your interaction with me and how you are. That would probably drive that nail in the coffin, for lack of a better term, to actually be like, you know what, this is the person that I want. If he falls to me, I would definitely be willing to pick him up. You know, so I wish you the best of luck in the draft, man. I really hope that you're able to get drafted because that feeling, oh
You got drafted.
man, yes,
You
I
got.
actually, bro, I was a wide receiver slash defensive end when I first got into the league. I was a wide receiver. So I scored my first touchdown as a wide receiver. We won a game, everything. But when I was drafted as a quarterback. So we surprised the entire league, you know,
Wait,
with that.
so you built up, so you played receiver,
Mhm.
built them up, and then you talked to a team and said, "I want to play quarterback," and they drafted you as a quarterback.
They talked to me. The Tulsa Desperados. Dion
Oh,
came to
listen.
me.
Oh, excuse me. Then let me not do that. Then you feel me? They came to you. They came to you.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go to them.
And it surprised me because there were other quarterbacks in the, in the league at that time, that was there, but they saw how I was with people. They saw me in general chat talking and all of that, and they thought I would be a good leader. And 7 seasons later, still doing my thing,
You
So
D Ashley Jackson, man. Everybody know you, man. You are the Ashley Jackson, man.
oh
Even though
man.
you a Super Bowl quarterback, man. Like you went to the Super Bowl, man. Like
Yeah.
that within itself, like I ain't gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. If I was in your situation, I made it there, I would have been so happy. But if I lost, when I lost, I would have been like, oh my God, bro.
Oh, I cried.
Like,
Don't
I ain't gonna
listen.
lie, I was gonna say that. I'm like, man, I might would have shed a few tears. Bro, like, oh my, if I make it to the minor league championship game and we lose, like, my feelings are gonna be so hurt, dog. I'm gonna be like,
I know.
bro, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
I know, man.
I be hurt when we lose games. So I know I'm gonna be hurting. And then you get a real ring, like you really winning a real Super Bowl.
hmm I mean, you got to pay for it yourself, but at the same time, they make
Hey
it with your
man,
team emblem. You have the diamonds on it. You have all of the different things. And when it comes in the box, um, shoot, I wonder if I got it handy because I would have showed you if I had it. Hold on. Okay, and I promise I won't let you go. But so this was sent to me by
man, listen,
Baltimore.
I'm having fun. I'm having a fun time. It's like I'm talking to a long lost friend or something. Like you feel me?
Oh
Like
man.
I'm not in now. I know you got time, you feel me, but I'm not in any rush, you feel me? So take your
Okay.
time. I'm
Okay.
chilling. And my kids aren't here right now either. So you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm big chill.
I got mine. I'm surprised you. Do you hear my
I
son?
just heard. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
heard him. Yeah.
So that's
What
what I was.
grade are you in?
He's in first.
My kid's in pre-K.
Oh, that. Yeah,
Yeah.
got a long way to go, brother. Long way.
Yeah,
But it's a good
man.
experience, man. So this is first of all, this is from Baltimore, and the
It's a
reason why they
wild
gave me
experience.
this, they gave me. I talked to them, and I was like, I'm always celebrating the championship with you guys because I always have the champions, whether it's SFLm or the majors, whoever wins that game, they could take over my show, right? So I had him on and I was complaining. I was like, I'm always celebrating with y'all. Y'all never give me nothing. Y'all need to you need to at least give me one of those rings, So I was talking all
You
kind of
was crying. You was
right.
crying.
And I was like, y'all just doing all this. And they was like, okay, we'll see you. And I was like, wait, no, you're not. And this came in the mail. So when you get it, it comes in this box, right? Then
Wait, let me see. Hold it back up again. Okay. I'm
yeah.
gonna screenshot that. So when I do get one, I'm gonna show. I'm gonna repost this picture, and I'm like, my cousin. I'm like my. I'm gonna be like my cousin showed me this box, and it was meant for me. You feel me? I'm like, you're a cousin. I'm like, no, not for real.
The way we
Not
act,
for
we
real.
might as well, we definitely family. But look,
Now, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
mm,
TJ Assassin is actually not my cousin.
okay. So is he like
No, she is the mother of my kids.
oh
Nobody
my
knows it, but
God.
I told everybody who's my cousin, but it's actually the mother of my children. She was my fiance at one point in time, but we've been together since we was like 18, and she actually was pregnant with my first daughter while I was in high school. So when I graduated,
Wow.
when I was walking across the stage, she was like 7 months pregnant, big, right, with this dress on, screaming my name and stuff while I'm walking across the stage and stuff. So yeah, my mama was like, my mama loves her now. Even though me and her, like, we're not engaged no more, but my mama loves her to death, right? So my mama looked at her and she was screaming louder than me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we've been together since we was like 18 though. We're 25 now, so it's like 7 years we was together. But we basically been together our whole adult lifehood. You know what I'm saying? So like we really had to take time to like, I ain't gonna say it, okay, it kind of sound like an excuse or whatever, but like, we had to take time to like just figure out what we wanted for ourselves, try to get
Yeah.
ourselves together because we're still so young. So like
Right.
we want to get ourselves together and then, what I'm saying, come back. Cause like one thing I'm gonna tell you, like, okay, like I had a little accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you see my hand? You see my hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see the scars.
Yeah, I got shot in my hand or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and this when I was in high school. So like I got shot in my hand or whatever. So and I was here by myself. Like I was here by myself, like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to call the ambulance or whatever. And basically I had to like nurture myself until the ambulance got here, and it hurted so bad. But like this was before she became like my baby, like before she became my fiance or the mother of my kids or whatever. And I called her, right? This is when I met her while I was working at Wendy's. So this is when we just was knowing each other, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I called her and I'm like, Shamir. Yeah, her name's Shamir actually. And I'm like, Shamir, I don't I don't got shot or whatever, you feel me? As soon as I say that, she instantly crying. I'm not even crying. She started crying. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, nah, Shamir, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm in so much pain, right? Like, I was managing it. And as soon as I got in the ambulance, it hurted so bad. Like I wanted to cry. Like it hurted that bad. But like they gave me some anesthesia, right? And I was like, y'all don't gave it to me yet? He was like, yeah, I been gave it to you. It's not working. I was like, no, I need some more. So he had to pump me up some more. So I don't know, falling asleep in the back of the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Because they had to drive me all the way to Atlanta Medical from Noonan. So that's like an hour away. So I'm in the back, like an hour away. But anesthesia though, it had me feeling like I felt loopy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but the thing is though, she beat my mama. Like this is before she even found out she was pregnant or whatever. She ended up beating my mama to the hospital. And when she did that, I was like, yeah, she got real love for me. And we was so young, you know, and I was like, yeah, she really got real love for me, you know what I'm saying? So like that's how, and then like after I graduated, we ended up having my second daughter because they're 11 months apart. You know, they're Alabama twins. So, and we end up getting a house together or whatever. So like we pretty much lived together for like 5 years or whatever. Like that, like I had to come straight out of high school being an adult. Like I wasn't able to like enjoy my life or like have the freedom or careless lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? I had to literally like jump straight out of high school and be a man off the rip. So like a lot of people when they meet me, they be like, they think I'm older than 25. Like people be thinking I'm like 28 or 27 or something. And then when I tell them I'm 25, they be like, you don't look or act 25. I be like, for real? Like, yeah. I be like, well, I had to grow up young. So that's why I got all this facial hair. Like I had all this for like a year or two now. Like I think my kids gave me that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Listen, all that facial hair is gonna be gray when you start coaching. It's gonna be gray.
And I got a video on my Twitter to like my actual Twitter of my daughters. One of them had Trae jersey, and the other one had a I want to say Zach. I think it was Steph Curry. One of them had Steph Curry, and one of them had D Rose jersey on, and one of them had Trae jersey, right? Mm-hmm. And they were standing back and they was shooting jump shots, and they was straight swishing them, right? And I'm like, oh my God. And they was literally like, from the time I bought them that goal, every time, like, then we had it on lower level. My youngest daughter, she's like, Daddy, you got to let it up. So I let it up, and they is out there swishing with, then they're using like a real actual basketball, like one of them real hard ones.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like, so I posted the video on my Twitter and everything. Like I could tag you or send it to you or whatever, but like you gotta see them. Like they're literally like swishing. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, but like my youngest daughter, she gonna be into sports because like she'll sit up here while I'm like playing the game or something. She'll be like, Daddy, what you doing? Watching football? Playing football? She'll be like, Daddy, I like basketball. What you doing? Watching basketball? I'd be like, yeah, I'm watching basketball. So I know she'll be into sports, but like my oldest daughter, she's into make. No, she actually was making them too. Like she's gonna be good. Like she's athletic, but like she's more into like makeup and looking in the mirror and taking pictures on the phone. Like she probably be like a cheerleader or something. But I feel like my youngest daughter play basketball, but like I really want a son so he can play football, but I'm scared to have another kid because I don't want to have another little girl. So like,
okay, let's try and get twins.
So, I know. So I got a nephew, right? I got a nephew. He's like 8 now, but he's really my mother of my child. The mother of my children. He's her nephew. But when I met him, okay, he's like 8 now. And so when I met him, he was like 1 year old. So like now he called me Uncle Tyreek and stuff, you know. So oh yeah, my real name is Tyreek, but you know, yeah. So he'd be like Uncle Tyreek or whatever. But he plays football for a traveling football team, right?
Okay.
Like he plays for a national team.
That is dope.
Yeah, like he plays. He's 8, right? And he got like 2 interceptions, or he got like 3 interceptions. He got like 3-4 sacks. He's like one of the smallest kids on the team, right? But he's the fastest kid on the team. And he's like one of the best tacklers, and he played cornerback. He don't even like cornerback. Like I had to show him videos of Jalen Ramsey, and I'm like, listen, the best player in the NFL plays defense. He's Jalen Ramsey. So I was showing him videos. So he's like, ooh, I want to be like Jalen Ramsey. You feel me? So I was telling him like, every time you catch an interception, because like the first year he played, every time he scored a touchdown, I give him like $10. So so this year he had to play defense with it. So I'm like, every time you catch an interception, I give you $10. Every time you get a tackle, I give you like $5 or something like that. Every time he see me now, he be trying to rack up the money. I'm like, you don't want to wait until the season over with, because we got to go to Panama City to play in the Super Bowl. So
Okay.
yeah, like
Look
he
at
plays for a
this.
nationally ranked. We nationally ranked, no cap. And he been invited. He been playing for 3 years, and he got invited to play in the All-Star game every year. But it's in Texas.
Oh,
So
nice. Look
yeah,
at you.
so like the All-Star game, he got invited like a nationwide of kids.
Mm.
He got selected to go to Texas to play in the All-Star game and stuff. So really, that's my son. You feel me?
I do.
Yeah.
I
So
do.
it's like I
That's dope.
Mm-hmm.
got him. So I don't even, you feel me? Like I'm okay with my 2 little girls, and I got my nephew that play football. So you
There you
feel me?
go.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Family ties, man. But this is the ring.
Ooh.
Can you see it?
Hold on now. Hold on now. Do it past the tester though. Can you slap it on the tester?
I'm sure I can. I haven't. Hell,
Let me
I
see.
was surprised as hell that they gave it to me, to be honest.
They just gave it to you,
Yeah.
and they got 2. That is hard.
They got 4, first of all. They got 4 now, so they're
I
gonna have
know.
that. So yeah,
What
this
his
one was
name?
what they had their second one.
What's their quarterback name?
Jack Wigmore.
Dude, like, how long has he been? Like, how many years? Like, real life years? How many years has he been in this league? Probably like 2 or 3, huh?
Yeah, I think it's like 2 or 3, because they had Mike Dazzo, which was their original quarterback, but he wound up retiring. Um, and so as soon as Mike retired, we never thought Mike was going anywhere. Then that's when they got Jack Wigmore, and they have been balling out.
But but see, the thing is though, I think when I first joined, it was like Wigmore's last year in the minor league. When I joined as a receiver, I got put on the Lincoln Rattlers team,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Ralph Snickler, huh?
And I think it was like his last year in the minors, because I remember being in the chat and seeing his name and stuff. And see, I wasn't in here long, so nobody remembered me. But I remember I got in like this little back and forth with this dude named his name like the blue, his name like franchise the blue, or the blue
Oh,
franchise, or
franchise Wade.
me and him got into it because I put franchise as my nickname, and he was like, I'm the real franchise. See, they don't remember that, but I got good memory. See, I remember them, but they don't remember me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's why I'm like, yeah, I remember. Now I just think like back then, like, what if I would just stay with my receiver? Like, I would be in the league already known and stuff. But
Things happen for a
I'm a
reason.
Yeah, I'm a quarterback.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
so
It's all good, man. But listen, this has been an amazing visit. I want you to come back whenever you want to, King Jackson. And I'm looking forward to seeing where you're going in the draft. But listen, first of all, did you have any questions for me before I let you go?
what round you got drafted in?
First, believe I was the
Ooh,
7th or 8th pick. I think it was the
you
8th
think
pick.
you a baller, don't you? First
I
round, 8th pick, you a
mean,
baller.
I do all right. I do all right. You know,
You do all right.
I do all right.
A Super Bowl quarterback do just all right. Yeah,
Yeah, I do.
okay.
All right.
Hopefully I can do all right like that. You
You
feel
will,
me?
man. As listen, a lot of my success goes to my coaches. that have instructed me on how I tell them that how I want to perform, and they take
Oh,
that into account, and they also guide me on the progressions as needed to be the best that I can be for the team. So, like you said, you got to humble yourself in order to listen to people and understand that what you may think is cool may not be cool for the team build. Not you're paying your money, yes, but if your coach wants to build the team in a certain way, he has his vision, and you kind of deviate from that, he now has to take that deviation and add it to what he's doing. And sometimes it work out, sometimes it don't. But
and then you get
that's what.
released. Then you'll get released if it don't work out. Because yeah, you asked me who I built my player to be like.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Tom Brady is like my favorite all-time player of all time, but I am a real fan of the baby goat himself, Patrick Mahomes. That's the baby
Oh
goat.
yeah.
He
Oh
gonna
yeah.
he gonna be the greatest. Like he gonna be the greatest when he retired. But like I built my player to kind of like play like him. Did you like? I got this like I think it was like week 3. I got this play where like I ran to like the side and like my dude kind of like threw the ball from like his hip on some Patrick Mahomes stuff, and he threw it like 60 yards down the field on a dime. And then the Lily ended up catching it and running it in for a touchdown. It looked like a pack. I got a hot see. I every week of the season, I make like a highlight. I make like a weekly highlight tape of like everything I've done. I got it on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. If you want to check it out, I'll
Absolutely.
send you the link. You know what I'm saying?
Please
So
do.
I built him to kind of play him, but I like Cam Newton as well because he's big. So I made my dude big like Cam Newton, like 6'6", 225, 240. And I made him be able to throw like Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? So a mixture of them two.
Great minds do think alike. We don't have the last name for nothing. I wanted
Stop
my
doing
quarterback. I wanted my
that.
quarterback to be like Cam Newton and um Peyton
Cam Newton,
Manning.
so Cam Newton,
Peyton Manning.
so Payne Manning.
Both of them.
Ew, so we beefing. We got beef. You talking
Bro,
about
I'm
some
just
Payne
saying
Manning?
it's a combination. I like the
Yeah, but don't
decision
don't
making. What?
don't
I
speak him.
what?
Brady,
What?
Brady,
Oh,
Brady.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I ain't no Brady. I ain't a Brady fan, man. We're gonna have to talk about that deflate gate and all that kind of stuff, you know? And what the hell's
Whoa,
going
whoa, 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 whoa. Brady didn't
But
do that.
okay.
Brady didn't do that.
You
Did
know
he
who
get
did?
suspended? Did he get suspended?
I bet you know he did though.
Did he get suspended?
Nah, because he knew who did it.
But he didn't get suspended though.
Hmm.
So I mean, he was found not liable or guilty of any of them claims that they
No,
tried to put
we
on
he,
him.
he may not be liable, but he damn sure know who did
Nah,
it.
but Payne Manning is a very good choice though. I like Payne Manning honestly. He's a very good player for real. He could have been the GOAT. He just couldn't beat Tom Brady, so Tom Brady the GOAT. But Payne Manning is like a very good player though. I watched him too. He was
Hmm.
actually my cousin's favorite player. Like the coach was my cousin's favorite team, so he loved Payne Manning. But that's another story for another day. You feel
Indeed,
me?
brother. Indeed. Yes, please come back. Please come back whenever you want to. I love to have you on, but I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that can either be you can sing a song, or you can recite a poem, or you could just do a simple shout out. But right now, King, the floor is yours.
Well, I ain't gonna sing no song because all the songs I know they might not be they not
Appropriate.
might not you know what I'm saying? Cause I like trap music and I like 90s R&B too. So
Love it.
yeah,
Some
I love
SWV,
90s. Oh
some
man, stop
guys, some
playing. Hey, you got me weak. Wait, what they say? What they say? You got me weak. Went down to my knee. Oh my mom, I know it. I just don't know it right now, but I know the song. I be singing it. I be singing my little heart out in my charger, no cap. But um, well, I ain't gonna see no song, but I actually do be writing like little poetry or whatever. See, yeah, I'm a man of many different layers. You feel me? I be writing in books and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just write to myself out, think out loud. But you know, but
Nice.
shout outs. I want to shout out the Tacoma Grizzlies. I want to shout out all my teammates from. Oh, I also want to shout out my teammate Tigger Clay. He just re-signed with his team. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He just re-signed to his team. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. I want to shout out to Creech, Brown, Nakai, Lily, and Sudo. You know, both my team owner and his wife. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out. I want to shout out my boy TJ for putting me on the flex squad. You know, we flexing on these folks. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I want to give a shout. I just want to shout out. I want to give my cousin Ashley Jackson a shout out for being a great host. And you know what I'm saying? I just want to shout out the SFL for really welcoming me with open arms and treating me like family since day one.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I appreciate the shout out, brother. I cannot wait to see where you're gonna land in the draft. You know, if you get taken, I definitely wish you the best. You know, unless you play in Arizona, then. But seriously, this has been a great
Yeah, you want to keep
conversation.
your job, huh? You want to keep
Oh,
that
I ain't worried
job,
about
huh?
that, bro. I ain't worried about that.
You the goat. You the goat. I know you're not. Goat Jackson.
Takes one and no one. I'll
Gang.
see you soon,
Gang.
brother.
I'm gonna send you that link to my YouTube so you can watch them highlights.
Sure,
Make sure you watch them now. I'm gonna be waiting on my view now. My
and
view. Give me a
I'll make sure I
sub.
comment.
Sub. Make sure you sub too. I'm gonna sub back.
I
You
will
know, we
sub
got.
and I'll comment so you know that I watched it. And give me the link, and so when this airs, I can actually drop it into the live chat so people can go to it when it's live. Okay.
You want me to say the thing now, or how you
This
want me to do that?
you can send it to me whenever you get a
Oh,
chance, and I'll
oh
just
yeah, I'm
put it
gonna
in
send
there.
it to you for sure. I'm gonna send it
Yeah.
to you for sure. Okay, it's some good stuff in there.
All right. Sounds good, brother. You have a good one.
All right, you too.
Peace. What is up, SFL Nation? And we are back with my fourth and goal interview featuring one another great quarterback of the SFLm. I'm so happy to meet. He is Mr. Ty Ptak.
Got it.
Yes, okay, I had to make sure. He is the quarterback for the Albuquerque Adams. Man, I see you out there doing your thing, man. How you doing?
Oh, not bad. Just happy we could pull out the win.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Before we get started with all of that good stuff, let's get to know you a little bit. So, if you don't mind, what is your age, your hometown, one interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team? Please don't say Green Bay. Please don't say Green Bay.
Well, same division, but I'm a Vikings fan.
Okay,
30, and I'm from Illinois.
Whoa.
I've lived here my whole life, so
Uh,
yeah. All the other sports are all Chicago, but football's always been through the family in Minnesota. So
Okay. I mean, as long as you didn't say the other one, we all good. Yeah. That's good, man. So, what is an interesting fact about yourself that you want people to know?
Interesting fact. Well, I've known Cam for like 15 years. I was in the Waffle with the WAFL and the first league he did. He played
Wow.
on, like, I met him in like the backbreaker forums when that game, I don't know if you ever played that when it was first starting out, but it was based off like a physics engine and everything. It's a bit goofy, but when he started that league, he had to be all-time quarterback. So that was pretty fun.
Oh my God. I never knew that. Oh, that's dope. Thank you so much for telling me. I'm gonna get on Cam about
No
all
problem.
that. Oh man. So would that lead you into how you actually found the SFL? Or was it through Cam or
Yeah,
was it
basically.
okay. Awesome.
Because I was up in the Waffle I think we ran 5 years, maybe something like that on that, and we used NCAA 14, and then I can't remember exactly how it all ended, but after that he started the next one with the SFL, and he'd talk to me. I said I was going to take time away, whatnot, and then like every few years he'd check back in, and like we just talk, catch up about things. He'd be like, "Hey, if you ever like stop in, watch a game, whatever." I go back and forth, but we had like 10 teams. It's smaller, and it felt like a nice tight community. So I was like, am I really gonna find that again if I join back up? Like I'll come watch, pop in and say hi, come back.
Mhm.
And then it was probably, what was it, a year ago I joined, like 8 months. I watched the convention clip with Matt on it, Wilson.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, Cam's done it again. He somehow made this amazing community again with everybody who feels so connected. I was like, all right, I'm going to join back in.
Wow. That is a great story, man. Then, you know, it's amazing how something can kind of reel you in, right? For some people, it was watching the game play out, or maybe it was the broadcasters that was calling the game, the excitement that they have. Some people actually thought that it was a real game, because of the
Right.
graphics, and it was like, oh man, this is not real. It's like, but then you have moments like Matt. You have, you know, heartwarming and inspiring moments like watching someone live out their dream that otherwise they wouldn't be able to do, that captivates you and eventually draws you in. So that's some good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So, have you actually played sports in your real life?
Through high school and then like recreationally.
Okay, okay. So what did you play? Football?
Yeah, football. Even though high school, I was like, I didn't grow until like sophomore year of college. So high school, I was like 5'1", 5'2", 5'3".
Hey,
Like
what's
it was rough.
what's wrong with being 5'1", 5'2"? I'm 5'2" right now.
Well, it wasn't very conducive to basketball or football for me. Baseball, I could get hella walks, but
I know that's right, man. I can't shoot the ball for shit. But, that's good stuff. So, what position did you play in
for
football?
football wise,
Hmm.
I started quarterbacks all the way up until probably, well, when you played both sides of the ball, it was quarterback and safety, and then like I do like
Wow.
slot cornerish kind of things. And then up through sophomore year, they switched me to wide receiver, and then after that year, I stopped.
Why'd you stop?
Um, well, I wanted to be a quarterback, and then like that summer going in, I was playing like kickball at like a family thing, and I slipped on those like those like rubber bases that you throw on the grass. I
Yes.
fell on my shoulder, and then sprained my AC joint, and like
Oh,
I don't know, messed up my
no,
leg and whatnot. And I was like, well. Came
man.
back, and we had to like they have you run the 40 and like go through like drills to kind of like place you at positions at those beginning years,
Mhm.
and I couldn't really do too much throwing because it was my right shoulder. And then I ran like a 4.8, 4.9, which was pretty slow, but
Yeah.
comparatively, so it was not great.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of people on the show, as you know, and when I ask that question, like, why did they stop playing? It's usually because of an injury that they sustained. Some of it's on field, and some of it, it is kind of like a freak accident, kind of like you went through. And bro, I've had one of those moments, those kickball moments, except mine wasn't as bad as yours, but mine was more embarrassing because I went to kick the ball and it just one of them slip numbers, it just fell straight on my back. Bro, embarrassed in front of the whole school, I swear. So
Yeah, mine was like those fall on the ice videos where like it like you fall for like 5 seconds. Like I slipped and I just like kept going sideways and like trying to keep my
you try
balance,
to,
and then just landed straight on my shoulder.
damn, bro. But you know, I'm wondering, is that the reason why you enjoy watching the SFL and even being involved in other sports like this to kind of get that nostalgic feeling that you had back when you were
I'm
actually
sure.
playing? Yeah.
I'm sure. And I mean, I've always liked the sim aspects of sports because I've always been pretty good at Madden. So for a while, they're like playing it against the computer, like really did nothing. Like
Hmm.
I'd go play competitively, but like eventually you run into the same guys running like the same 4 plays, and whether it schematically actually works or not, found it
Gotcha.
more interesting to go through the sim style of things.
Indeed, and hell, it hurts less too. Okay. But so I take it that's why you chose to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
initially they
mhm.
were all full, so then I went with safety. And I was
Okay.
strong safety on the Adams for like 6 months, something like that.
You know, I thought so, but I didn't want to be wrong. And I was like, didn't you
Gotcha.
play another?
Yeah, I started safety with the Adams, and then like a week before the season last year for SFLm opened up, the quarterback from Tacoma missed progressions, maybe. I don't remember what it ended up being.
Mm,
But then he got cut out. So then I
mm.
jumped in. I was bothering deputy commissioner probably like every day, being like, hey, can I get in there? He's like, it's first come, first serve. Whenever it pops up, pop in there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you
Then I
looked
got
up.
it. So, and now I've
Yeah.
come full circle all the way back to Albuquerque. So,
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, what's the best part or one of the best things about being on the Albuquerque Adams?
well, I always like Dynasty when we first started because I hadn't talked to Swole too much, but probably just getting to be under like the tutelage of them and kind of
Yeah.
see like the game day and be like, hey, they're running this play like a million times. What do you run against that? What do you? I don't know. That's what I've really enjoyed about it, just the strategy side of it and how much they seem to know and like what goes into what decision.
And so, is that the reason why you decided to scout for them? Because I did see that you're a scout as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you
With the
actually?
idea of leading into like defensive sides of it
Okay.
because the offensive books, I guess, I don't know how this is gonna sound, but like I feel like I could kind of like piece together an offensive book. I get that like a little more dictating straightforward of it, but the
Okay.
defensive side and reacting to like what necessarily stops what, whether it's a football schematic sense or just a different way that all pro football plays it out. So wanted to learn the buttons.
Okay. I like that. And it kind of led me into my next question for you. Um, did you have any aspirations? So, let's say you drafted, right? Drafted to a great team. Did you have any aspects, I mean, other aspects of the league that you wanted to join or be a part of, such as the broadcast team or maybe the stats team, or maybe taking your scouting talents to your new team?
I think the broadcast is interesting, but I've been working weekends at this current shift that I'm on. So I don't think that's really possible. Same with stats then, because I can't do it like live. And I would say coaching, head coach, offensive coordinator, whatnot, are more my interests.
Okay. Did you say ship?
Shift, I said.
Oh, I thought you said like you were working on a ship. I was like, whoa, okay, that's a whole other stuff. So, what is the best aspect or one of the best aspects about being a quarterback in the league? Actually, I could ask you that for your real life too. What was one of the things that you enjoyed most?
Well, to be truthful, when I first started, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to be a wide receiver because, well, growing up Vikings fan, my idol was Randy Moss. I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna be 6'4" one day. I'm gonna run like a 4.3. It'll be fine. But didn't work out that way. So they
Right.
were like, no. Our coach wanted me to be the quarterback because I knew all the plays and the calls off it. So then I could get people lined up. And I was like, okay, fine. And we were mostly running at that time. So just flipping the play, simple stuff like that, and knowing what to call and how to get people there. So that part's always been fun, like walking up and being like, no, he's doing this. He's trying to trick me over here. Like, I don't know. I like the head games of it.
Okay. Now, with those head games, comes the trash talk, comes the adversity that sometimes you run into. And I'm curious to know, how do you handle such a thing?
I mean, I'm a pretty calm person. I enjoy trash talk because I also played a lot of basketball. You see that a lot more there, a little more in your face, one-on-one kind of deals. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm fine with it.
All right. And so your team, well, Adams typically are one of the top teams in the SFLm, but when you have those moments where you're not winning or the team is not doing too well, or um, let's just say you didn't have a winning season, how do you handle that? How do you digest that? And how do
Um,
you?
I probably just watched the game like 8 times, try to figure out like that first game we played against Madison. I
Yeah.
went and watched like every time the pick happened. I went and saw what play it was, and it ended up being like 3 of them were off the same play. One was off a tip, so it's like whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
try to figure out like what the big impact moments were, and if it was like some glaring issue, like a single play that seemed to be not meshing with what they were running against us.
Okay. Okay. So, who did you model your quarterback after?
It's like I would say somewhere in the Mahomes range, a little more creative. Obviously, you can see with like the lower composure, he gets pushed out of the pocket a bit, and he'll
A little bit. A
kind
little
of
bit.
drift. Yeah, he'll drift a bit more with scrambler. I started to see because without it, he would just like stand still, and then the moment like he got too much pressure, he'd run. Like now, it
Right.
seems to be a little more like casual. All right, now I'll go, or at least that's what I went through with my testing because I do have the editor and All Pro. So like I'd try to take a single ability and then test it for however many games, see how it goes. And I tested against regular SFLm teams, and then I built like an All Pro team of the best like value contract players from the season before.
Mhm.
So I just go out there and I posted a picture the one time in the chat because it was the old Tacoma team when I was on there playing against that team, and like receivers were getting shut down. My guy ran the ball like 20 times out of the pocket. I was like, oh, geez, okay.
So I think that's pretty dope. So because you have the editor in the game, are you responsible for your own progressions and how your player is being maintained right now?
Um, Swole still like puts out like our whole, or well, Swole puts it out. I don't know if it's him or Dynasty who really sets him up,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll come in and say it. But starting in the off season, like I can go talk to him about it, and he's really flexible with being like, okay, yeah, I can see that, or like, I don't think that's a good idea, and then I'm like, all right.
Okay. Okay. And I think that's important because I'll say it like this. If you know what you're doing, you can be a valuable asset because that is one of, coaches and owners, their big things. So if you know what you're doing and you say, hey, I want my player to react like this or to have this type of style, they can I think they'll be more inclined to be a little bit more agreeable because you have the game and because you are running these sims and because you are so involved that you can see what's happening versus somebody just say, hey, I just want to be able to pass good. Okay, but do you have everything else that you're gonna need to? Like you're gonna be able to get out the way when those defensive ends come back there in the back to try to get you? Like, do you have everything you need? So I think that's important. And I think that's gonna look really good, you know during draft time, when that comes up, and especially if people see this show and know that you have the editor, oh yeah, they're gonna be calling. Um, so what is why do you stay? Why do you stay in the SFL? Because you've been here for a few years, a few seasons. What made you just stay when you could have went anywhere else?
Um, I mean, I'm pretty simply driven by competing. I like competition and just the chess match of putting these plays against this play, what you watch them do. It's addicting.
Okay, I like it. So tell me about your game tonight. Your thoughts on that?
I mean, our kicker really held it down for us, 6 field goals. Defense made big plays. Really, I mean, they played a great game other than 2 individual bombs that they got touchdowns off of. But we were able to get down in the scoring position enough times and get the field goals. So a win's a win. May not be pretty, but I'll take it.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, kickers matter. And when things not going right in the offense, if your special teams or somebody scoring for you, even if it's defense, if you get a few pick sixes in there, maybe safety or 2, as long as somebody is scoring for your team, you can come out with the win. So y'all very lucky with that one. So Adams are 3-time champions of the SFLm. I've had them on my show about 3 times. Well, every team that wins their respective championship, whether it's the majors or the minors, they come on the show and they take it over. Great group of guys. When I tell you, they're fun to be around, fun to talk to. Oh my God. If y'all haven't seen that show, please go back and see it. It was hilarious. But
Oh yeah, watch that one.
did you?
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So much was going on. And then we had a surprise cameo from Bryant Dynasty. Did not know he was coming. So he surprised me and everything. That was a good time. But what is the Albuquerque locker room like? Is it like what we saw on the show all the time? Or like what's the dynamic in there?
It's pretty uplifting. Everybody seems to have everybody's back, patting them on, whether it's great performance, bad performance. People are like, oh, another one knocked off my hands. They're just like, hey, you'll get yours soon. Keep plugging away. But no, it's real good time in there.
Good. So what is your expectations from the team that would possibly draft you this season? Like, what are you expecting the front office to do for you? What are you expecting your locker room to be like?
I like the chemistry and family environment that most teams seem to have within those locker rooms.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as personally, I'd like to learn more defense stuff and go somewhere with the pedigree of knowing what to do and how to accomplish those things and taking me up those steps.
Okay. And so what can teams expect from you, your personality wise? How are you going to be in their locker room?
Competitive, but I mean, not pushy. Just gonna support all our guys, and more of a, if I have a problem with something or like think something's an issue, I'm gonna come with some kind of info behind it and not just be like, we got a problem, somebody fix this. Like, I don't want to show up empty-handed to it. I'm gonna have like maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. Just try to help any way I really can, and I mean, study as much as possible.
Okay. Good stuff. So, a couple of fun questions for you. It's game day, and you have a choice. Hot wings or pizza? Which one are you taking and why?
Hot wings all day.
Why?
It's like top 2 food for me.
Really?
Yeah, it's like wings, pasta, steak, and like I'd have to try to figure out which one's which.
Okay, all right. So, fun team question for you. I'm going to ask you like 3 or 4 questions in regards to your teammates. All right. So, who is the funniest person in your locker room, and why?
I'm gonna say it's either between Alex Marshall or Ricky Robinson. Normally, Ricky on game day, he has some good quips back and forth to just talk about events going on in the game or R62, depending what he does. So,
Oh, Maximilian. See, Cam, I'm going to actually get back into beat writing this season, but I actually did a whole article about who I thought our refs R62 is. And I always called him Mr. Maximilian. He lives in a big mansion. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. So it was a whole thing, man. Crazy. Um, who is the most serious person in your locker
Um, hmm, that's good. I don't know. Everyone's pretty laid back. I don't think there's anyone too. I could say, I mean, from the Tacoma days, it was definitely Garrett Evans, but
room?
he came in with intensity every time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But right now, it'd probably another defensive player, but with TJ Assassin, he seems to have a little more of a rah-rah spirit to him.
You're gonna get a really nice surprise when I tell you this. Did you know that TJ Assassin is actually um King Jackson's mother of his children?
Oh. Oh, okay. Did not know that. No.
He revealed it on the show because you guys are gonna be on the same show together.
Okay.
And he revealed it and it surprised me too. So that was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. I probably should have waited till you watched it, but I
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, she got the win today, so
there you go.
wonder how that's going over.
Oh, I wish I could ask him. I had him on before the game.
I'm going out. You take these kids and this L.
Probably said it in that order too. I'm telling you. um, so we got them with the funniest, the most serious. Um, who's the most influential or motivational person, and why?
Coaches seem like a cop out, but
I mean, but
I
if
mean,
that's what it
normally
is,
it's probably Swole or yeah, it's probably Swole. Comes in, catches people, whatever up or down moments we have, he'll come in, cheer people up, tell you, hey, we got you looking out on that. That's not on you. Like the first game where I threw 5 picks, he's like, that's not on you. We got something to figure out. And just brought it right back around because that was our first game. So he's like, we'll get this straight. We got stuff in order. I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, Swole is a good dude. He really is. So, what is a sport that is currently a sport that really shouldn't be, in your
I
opinion?
don't know.
I've heard a lot of things. I've heard race car driving. I said
Get KJ mad at
curling.
me.
I said curling because I'm like, why? Why is professional ice sweepers a thing? That you just were like, okay, why are people saying this is a sport? This is not a sport.
I mean, like bobsled when they do that. I don't know what. Do they count that? I mean, it's in the Olympics, but like,
Yeah.
is it really a sport? I don't know.
I think
They
you.
ain't saying drive because then KJ will get all mad at me. So,
Please don't, Lord.
yeah. I
He
don't
got
need
him.
no rant in my DMs.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Yeah, I think you may be the first person to say bobsledding. Maybe.
I mean, Cool Runnings was cool and all, but like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the first thing.
that's all
First
I
thing
got.
I
I
thought.
don't know.
First thing I thought about when you said that. So, how easy was the process for you actually joining the league? Like from actually choosing your player to getting into the locker room, even figuring out how you wanted to build your player and everything. Or how
It
difficult
was
was
good
it?
because at that time I did have the editor, so like I started, got in, and I was like, I'm gonna hold out for a QB spot, see if it happens. Then it probably went like a month or two, and I was like, nah, screw it, I'm just gonna get it and give me a safety. So then I did that. I think I was backing up. It would have been Dante at that point, I think.
Mm.
So I was sitting there for a while going through that. That was good. Then signed on for the quarterback, and I was like, oh, what face do I want? What? I was trying to look through that. I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like us, I guess. Looked more like my grandpa than me, so I was like, oh, whatever. Closest I got. Then I debated going with like a taller build, but I was like, we'll just go with like close to what I'm actually at. So,
Which is,
I mean, 6 foot, like 220, I believe is what I did. So I was like,
okay.
all right, even though I ain't 220 anymore, but it helps break tackles. So
Hey,
we'll leave
listen. Okay, I've modeled my quarterback after Cam Newton and Peyton Manning. That's what I was going for.
What combo?
I know, right? I like the decision making of Peyton Manning. He always seemed to be very surgical with his offense. But I love the agility and the physicality of, I think if that's the word, um, of Cam Newton. So, like, I just wanted to go for that, you know. But
That MVP season for Cam was just a one-man army thing.
exactly.
And Peyton come up to the line with like 3 plays. They'd run like 9-8-9 comebacks or some kind of deep dig over the middle. And they just go between those until you gave him a light enough box, and he'd be like, all right, run it. And then
Oklahoma.
Omaha.
Oh, it's Omaha. That was it. That's
And they
you
come
know,
up with their 2 kills, 2 alerts, and then just go from there.
I swear, like that was the only play I ever when he when he changes it at the line when he does the audible. That's the
But
only
yeah,
one I always.
he'd come in the huddle, call 2 plays, and then walk up there and be like, oh, well, they're doing this, so Omaha.
Love
Next
it.
one.
Oh boy, his attention to detail. That's what I wanted. But what is some advice that you have for your fellow brethren in regards to join people that's looking at us and just saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about joining the league. Why should they join?" In your opinion?
That's why this is so hard to illustrate, because, like, I mean, I get a question from my wife and be like, why do you, what do you get out of this? And it's so hard to like properly explain.
Well, do
That
your
way.
best.
It's so addicting to just like see your name out there, hear it called, and know you have some kind of influence on the win or loss of the day. And that's why I wanted to get in coaching too. It's just that much more of like an ownership of the win or loss. And I can point and be like, oh, shouldn't have put that play in. Oh, I should put that play in. But I think the main selling point in what I was talking about before with why I got in is just the community of it. And having all these people there that you can talk sports with, you can talk the SFL with, and have like our own world in there that we're all buying into.
Indeed. Now you mentioned that you were in, you know, the other league with Cam when he first started and things like that, and then you have this one now. What are some of the differences besides the game itself that you guys are playing? And probably, I'm sure, you know, it was definitely large. This one is definitely larger.
Yeah.
But was there some other differences that you would note that maybe he started off this way, but then it grew into this, or he just become better at this where he wasn't so good back then?
And so I think he's just taken basically everything and just improved it all around. And then whenever, I don't know what season they started doing individual players, because back then, obviously, we didn't have that many. So you owned a team, and then that was basically it. And there wasn't like hard models one way or another. Like we'd all get on like a conference call and try to hash out like how I assume your guys' owner meetings go. But
Yeah.
it was much more of an infancy stage of, I believe, what this is now. And like, just, I don't know. I feel like every decision he's made down the line has been good, even though I'm sure he'd tell me that's not true. But so.
Yeah, he can be a little hard on himself sometimes when we talk. I have to remind him that yes, you do go through hard times, you know, but that's how you grow. That's that you have to grow. And that's how you get stronger with struggle, with that agitation, you know. You have to overcome it and look
Put
what you
yourself in
have.
those uncomfortable spots and
Hmm.
make your choice, ride it out, see how it goes.
Indeed, indeed. Man, Ty, this has been a fantastic conversation. I know it's late though, so I'm not gonna hold you too long. I'm sorry I had you out here so late, but I really
It's
appreciate you for your time. But do you have any questions for me before I let you go?
How long have you been wanting to be an owner, And like, did you get close to ever seeing like another team come in and offer you ownership? Or like, because I mean, obviously I've watched a lot of these shows and a lot of Eddie's shows, and he always wanted to be a single owner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then I didn't know if that forced his hand or.
Maybe. I've been wanting to be an owner ever since I had my first season as a GM. And because my thing is, I wanted to grow in the league because this is probably the outlet that I have that would allow me to do things that in my normal life I wouldn't, like being a podcaster or doing the broadcast or trying out stats. You have to know the right people to be able to have those opportunities out in the real world. But when you come here, they're gravitating towards you. Hey, come and help me. Come do this. Come do that. Even with writing articles that's actually published on a website. Like I never thought I would be doing anything like that. So when the opportunity came for me to be a GM, I was like, okay, this is wonderful. I think that I'm a leader. I know that I still have a lot to learn. I think I can be able to do this. And then once I got that, I'm looking like, okay, what's the next level? I want to grow, and ownership seems like the next level that I wanted to be in. And so far, it's been proving everything that I thought it would. It is hard work, especially when you're trying to focus on being a good owner. It is, it does have its accolades too. When you see your team doing well on the field or when you have those sponsorships coming through, you know. And there was a team that offered me, little something. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just talk to Eddie and just let him know what's going on. And that might have been the tipping point for him because he has always said that, had that belief of one team, one face, one owner.
Right.
Um, but I was also one of his day ones. I was also one of the ones that had his back when we were 4-8, 5-7. Still telling him that we can do it. We still tell him that we can make it to the championship and win it. And we made it to the championship, and oh,
Yeah.
that much. But having my players come back, having um the trust of the locker room kind of cemented that, and having the trust of Eddie helped cement that for me. And it's been one of the best decisions I've made. I don't know if I could be an owner anywhere else.
Okay. I guess I got one other quick one.
Yeah.
So you're out in Arizona now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite place to eat out there?
I know this is going to sound weird, but there's this it's a taco truck. It's a taco
Oh,
stand called, I think it's Bebos. And they sell all kind of tacos, nachos, like the fries that have like all of the taco toppings on it. Bro, delicious. First thing I had from them, and I fell in love with it, was classic tacos, classic steak tacos with the homemade tortillas and the white onion, cilantro, lime. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need a little something else, a little green salsa. When I tell you that was the best taco I've ever had in my life, because it was authentic, it didn't have Taco Bell ain't got shit on that. You hear me?
oh yeah, absolutely.
And so when you have something that's authentic, and plus, we're very close to the border anyway. So you have
Right.
people with all of their talents, they come up and then they make these wonderful things. Um, Culturally, you learn things that you probably never would have tried, and how the simple things can taste so good. So shout out to Bebos, man. Bebos Taqueria. Fantastic.
Sounds like a good place. I don't know if
Man.
they have lengua, but I'd give that a try if I was you.
Oh my gosh. I love lingua. When I tell
Awesome.
you, let me just break it down. For people that don't know what lingua is, it's the cow tongue. I'm sure people are gonna be like, oh my God. Most tender, most tender beef that you will have. Now, what I'm
That's
gonna do,
amazing.
Ty, I'm gonna start another room up real quick, and so we can finish.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back. All right. We're back. We're back. But yeah, man, some good tender lingua. Delicious. I also like tripe too, but I don't like menudo. I found that out the hard way. This just wasn't my thing. But if you take the honeycomb tripe, which is cow, everybody gotta let it know. It's cow stomach, guys. Don't judge it. Don't knock it till you try it. But if you take it and you fry it, well, first you boil it to make sure that it's nice and tender and everything. And then after that, and then you can boil it with seasoning so you can actually flavor it while it's boiling. But you take it and you dry it off really good and you coat it with some cornmeal and like salt and pepper, some like chili powder. I love garlic, so some garlic powder in there too. And you fry it so it's nice and crispy. Oh my God. You lose your mind a little bit. Just a little bit. So what's some interesting stuff you've ever tried?
I don't know. I've always been pretty picky. So like even getting lingua for a while, that was difficult to get me to do it. And then went out for Taco Tuesdays the one day and started hitting margaritas. And then we got there and I'm like, I'll try it. And I was blown away.
And the shots of tequila got to you. He was like, yeah, let me go ahead.
Absolutely. I will eat anything right now. Come on, let's just go.
Oh, I love it. I had a video where I made this. I was eating a scorpion lollipop. Of course, I was called cannibal because I'm from the scorpions, but whatever. It was it was pretty good. So it's good to kind of expand your horizons and try different things that you're not used to. But did you have any more questions for me?
I don't think so at the moment. Can't pull any, but
Hey, no worries. Don't worry. I'll have you back on the show at some point. You can always
there you go.
let me
I'll
know.
start jotting them down as I think of them.
Okay.
Keep them in a book out here.
Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. But like I said, you are invited to come back on the show. I do like to have rookies. I kind of like to follow the rookies throughout their season. So if you have time, just let me know. Like once you get drafted, once you go through that whole process, you can come back and share what it's like being on your new team or what you've learned and all of that good stuff. Any new positions that I'm sure you're gonna get because you're more than prepared for it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how everything shakes up. But thank you so much for being on the show, but I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that can be either a song, a poem, or a simple shout out. But right now, Ty, the floor is yours.
Well, let's make this one simple. I'm just going to shout out Albuquerque and just let you know that, hey, we will be back. We'll be winning the championship again. So I ain't got to worry about nothing then.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, some other people might have something to say about that, but
They can try. That damn raccoon.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, well, we'll be seeing if I'll be wearing all green this time around because it's funny because I got an outfit just for the occasion, just in case it does happen. So, but nice convo, man. I appreciate your time, brother, and come back soon when you can.
No problem. Take it
All
easy.
right. You too. Bye. What is up, everyone? I am back with my third and final fourth and goal interview featuring Seattle nemesis outside linebacker, Mr. Matthias Citrion?
Yep.
Okay. Let me tell you what happened. So when we first started, I think I said Mathis Citron. Just so you know, my bad. Off the rip.
Trust me, I'm perfectly fine. As long as you acknowledge me, I'm fine.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show, man. I'm really happy to have you. And you have a really interesting Discord name, Master of Lemons. What does that mean?
It was one of those that it was completely random.
Okay.
Like one of those like you couldn't come up with a username, so you had to come up with something that no one else has created yet. And so this one popped up, and I'm like, I'm going to run with it. and I ran it.
I like it because it's definitely noticeable.
Exactly.
Awesome, man. So let's get to know you a little bit. First, what is your age? If you want to give us that, that's fine. If you don't, I understand.
I'm comfortable with that. I'm 18. I am legal.
Oh, hey, gotcha. Good to know. Good to know. Where's your hometown?
I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. So when I ask you who's your favorite NFL team?
I am a Packer fan through and
Oh, no, why? No, I'm a Bears fan. Why would you do that to me, man? Come on, man.
There's a huge chunk of my family that's also Bears fans. So
okay, so you're the only one that just decided to go rogue, huh?
No, there's like a side that's Packer fan, side that's Bear fan. I just was on the Packer fan.
Well, you're in good company. There's actually a lot of Packers fans in the league, including Bo Martin Jr. and Mike All, and even the commissioner Cameron Irvine. Wow. The choices y'all make. But what is an interesting fact about yourself that you want everybody to know?
There's a lot that I can pick from. Which one do I do?
Well, name a few if you want. That'd be great.
I was gonna say I have way too many collections to count. Honestly, I have. Like I say, I have a record collection, cassette collection, CD collection. I have a full-on stack stereo.
Nice. You know,
like I pretty much have like all the grandparents' old records and type stuff like that.
Like the vinyls. Oh my god!
Like all the vinyls and such. Yep.
Yeah. Do you have a vinyl player? I mean, a record player?
Yep.
Oh, I want one because some artists are actually doing vinyls now, just to kind of keep that nostalgic feel. And then I actually saw a record player at Walmart, believe it or not, for like $60. I just didn't have it at the time, but I would have definitely picked that up if I had it. Oh my gosh. But just that old, put the needle on the record and let it spin, that just don't scratch it because oh Lord, my dad used to have all kind of records. Like when I tell you he had one of the hugest collections I've ever seen. You probably have more, but he had basically like a wall full of records, and he getting his moves to where he's just putting them on. And I tried to help, and he said, "Don't you touch it," and put the little penny on it to help balance it. Everything. Oh my God, good times.
Yeah.
Good times. But so, how did you find the SFL in the first place?
Funniest story. So here I am, random February day, scrolling for YouTube, and one of my recommendeds is a person talking about All Pro Football 2008.
Okay.
And one of the comments down was this guy talking about the SFL and saying, "Hey, these guys do an amazing thing using this platform." So I say, that looks interesting. Look it up. And boom, it's in the middle of the season. I start watching it. I'm like, I'm hooked.
Exactly.
And then, of course, joined the Discord. Took a couple seconds. Boom, launched a player, and boom, here I am.
Indeed. So tell us a little bit about your SFL career. What teams have you been on? How did you wind up on the Seattle Nemesis?
I was gonna say for when I was in the SFLm, I was with Lincoln, part of their comeback into the SFLm.
Okay.
And it was actually really nice because I had All as my head coach. He's a really good head coach, I'll say that.
Yeah.
And in a more important connection here, I had Doug Day as essentially a strength and conditioning coach, if you will. And I still had a connection with him up even now, since he became the Nemesis head general manager. And I'm like, hey, that's actually a nice little thing. But going back to that, I had when draft day came around, I had talked to numerous people. I had Mexico City talking to me. I had Indianapolis. I had I had Fort Worth via the Doug connection. I had a couple of other teams, and I had Seattle talk to me. And then I know they say that like the whole mock drafts don't necessarily reflect the real thing. Most of the time, not at all. But there was plenty of them where I was said like, decent first round, and then here I am, fourth round, 91st pick. I remember it to this day randomly because, well, 4 steps away from the number I wear. But I was picked up by Seattle, and so far it's been a good little experience. I actually enjoy being a part of this expansion team because, hey, I'm making a mark on history. I'm part of this expansion team, part of one of the bigger expansions we had in a bit.
Indeed. And you guys, I will say that I'm proud of Ethan. I'm proud of all of you guys because you did not have to draft. And people were saying, oh, they only won 1 game. I'm sure they're going to have players leave. I'm sure they're going to have, this high turnover rate. And you didn't,
I was going to say, because most of the attitude in the locker room is essentially, we know we're not doing the greatest now, but we have a lot of potential that we can work on. And that we can fix up stuff here or fix up stuff there that we could work on for next season.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the free agents that we did pick up, if anything, we just bolster down our defense 100%, and we have some offense kinks that we may have to work out, but that's about it. And I think I'm really confident, honestly, next season. We're season 20 coming up.
Hey, it's going to be I was just telling the guys that it's going to be a very highly competitive, great season. I think season 20 is going to be one of those memorable ones because everybody's getting better. All teams are getting better. All coaches are learning. So it's going to be a good time. So what made you choose a position outside linebacker to begin with?
It was one of those that, hey, it was open. And 2, because it was my funny way of putting it is that I have never played football in my life. I was always a kid who played baseball when I was younger.
Okay.
But I had people come up to me and will try to get me to play football because I am a very big old guy. And one specific one was, since my high school's football team was absolute awful, like since I was a band student in a marching band, I was forced to go to every single home game, and we only won 1 in our 4 years of being there, excluding COVID.
Yeah.
But they try to get me as a line guy, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm a senior. No, I can't. But that made me think that if I really be hard enough, I could just be defense. And sure enough, and most of the positions, funny enough, are open. They're on defense, at least at the time of when I signed up. And I'm like, linebacker and linebacker doesn't sound that bad. So I do linebacker, and they had me do inside linebacker throughout the time at Lincoln. And then like they shifted me to outside linebacker when we put me in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good look for you. And it's funny that you mentioned that you were in the marching band because I was too when I was in high school. I played the flute, and I was actually in the band since 4th grade, and I played all the way up till I graduated. So, hey, and then you have some other people that play instruments here too that they're probably gonna see this and probably hit you up, especially Doyle because he was in a marching band too. So.
Yeah, I already had a fun interrupt story with Doyle because the fun story with me my personal experience with marching band was I didn't join until I was in 8th grade because my older sister who played clarinet since she was in 4th grade she was experimenting with percussion, and she was like, "Hey, wasn't it fun to have a sibling in band?" And I'm like, sure. There was nothing else I was doing at the time. And so I was forced to start, I was in percussion, and I stayed that way up until I graduated. And so there was a particular drum cadence that we were using. One that we wanted to use, not that we did use.
Mhm.
And so since we're all joking, and since all in the SFL chat, we're all joking with like picking up what's your hype music type deal, and I pull out this one marching jig, and he just reacts completely because it's a high school from his area that he hated.
Perfect.
And I joked the fence, and I was like, I did not know this beforehand. And he just rants on about the story and all that, and it was great.
Oh my God. Oh, it's funny because when you sit down and you have these kind of conversations with people, and when people are being open and willing to share things about, their experiences in life, you will find that you have a lot of things in common with certain individuals, So I think that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. But now, since you're on Seattle, do you aspire to do anything maybe to help the team out, maybe be to maybe help do some scouting, or maybe help the league out, maybe doing some broadcasting, or maybe doing some stats, maybe doing a little bit of beat writing, anything that you're interested in?
It's one of those things that I just want more experience in the league.
Okay.
In order to learn from it and see potentially more of the surroundings.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
One of those that yeah.
That's fair. I can dig that. I can understand that. So you touched a little bit on what your locker room is like. So when you guys weren't not having the season, that you wanted to have, was it difficult to keep the positive vibes going in the room?
Honestly, it was the opposite. This was our first season. We're not expecting it to be a miracle or whatever. Yeah. It was, we knew there was going to be some hard patches. There was some things we were going to work with. There was a couple of times where we're like, where Brady Clark, our defensive coordinator, was like, yeah, I'm sorry. We thought that this system would work, but turns out it didn't. And there was some patches that we had to fix, but all in all, especially midway through the season and later, where we actually start to have closer games, and it starts working out that there was some. It's just things are a little more rough now compared to going to be later. That we're like, we actually might have a shot. We might actually win more, and we've always had a confidence coming into every single game.
And that's important. It's very important to have that pride in your team and that confidence that, hey, we can beat anybody, whether it happens or not. You still have to have that, and that helps keep you good here too and here. So the scheduling just came out tonight. And is there any team or teams on there that you are very excited about playing against?
I was gonna say Minnesota was one that came up, and I'm like, I am very interested in this because it's one of those other teams that we haven't played yet, but they are starting to look good right now.
Okay.
There was one other one that I saw. I'm trying to remember at the moment. I'm pulling up the schedule now just for me to remember. Atlanta. Our first week we play against Atlanta.
Ooh,
and it's going to be a very interesting one because I know Atlanta is a consistent playoff pusher. They try to get in there. They don't, unfortunately, but they try. And I was going to say, there's a couple of games that I'm honestly a little iffy about, and that's the first one. But it's one of those that we beat this roadblock early. We can just continue on the way.
Hey, and that's how you have to think about it. I said it before. You didn't get a chance to hear, but when you watch the playback, you will. When Eddie and Diggy and I were talking about our schedule, that I was happy with the schedule that we had. And Eddie asked me why, and I said, because iron sharpens iron. So you want to play the best teams. You want to put up your best effort against these teams, because when you do win, that's even
That's the
sweeter.
best part.
Yeah, because you're finally there. You've arrived. You have the players you need. You have the team build that you need. You have the progressions that you need. You have all these factors that are falling into place to where you can actually compete. And people are apprehensive about playing you now. So it's a good feeling. And I think that when you have, like we were talking about earlier, that confidence, that drive, that tenacity, you can go far. You can do a lot.
Mhm.
And so, did you get a chance to watch the free agency show at all?
I got to see parts of it. I didn't see the full thing.
Okay, no worries. I was just wondering,
But
was there anybody that stood out to you that surprised you? Maybe with the decision where they decided to go, or
not really off the top of my head.
okay, no problem, no problem, no problem at all. So, if you had to give advice to the rookies that are out here that are looking to get drafted and playing their final games for their season, what is some advice you want to give to them?
Especially at this point, start making connections. Start asking teams, hey, are you in need of this position? Are you in need of that? What is some advice that I can use? I was going to say, start making connections, start talking to people, because the advice that they will give them, it will help them in the future. And some of these connections might lead to potential teams in the future, kind of deal. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Fun question for you. So, in the Seattle Nemesis locker room, who's the funniest person?
Oh, that's a lot. There's a lot there. Recently, Doug, I was gonna say Doug Day, and I was gonna say T the Queen. Both of those two, absolute goofballs.
I've met them in person. They really are great people. Great people. Who is the most motivational?
I was gonna say definitely. There's a lot of people that could fit that title, but definitely. I was gonna say Ethan Kai, David Harrell, most of our upper management, at least the way I put it. They always do a good job of keeping morale high.
I like that, and that is very important. Who's the most serious?
Definitely Kai.
Oh, okay. You knew that. You had to think about that. And I can tell. I've known Kai for a long time, and he has those moments where he can get in his own head, and I have to tell him, like, man, you're a great coach. I don't know why you're letting these things or things that people say get to you. And then he winds up turning things around, but yeah, y'all got a good team on your hands, and I wish y'all the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
When you're playing us, though. But I was wondering if you had any questions for me before I let you go.
None really, honestly.
Okay. Well, that's all right, because you can definitely come back on whenever you want to. If you think of something, just hit me up. I'd love to have you back on.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And thank you for having me on the show, honestly.
Anytime, but I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that could be a song, that can be a poem, or just a simple shout out. Right now, the floor is yours, Mathias.
Whew. I was not expecting the mic to be turned on me, but here we go.
All right.
I just want to, if anything, wish everyone watching a good day, happy holiday, and just general have fun. Or let me just say the same way I say goodbye to most people is have fun, don't die.
No, okay.
Straight to the point, and it always works.
Well, if I can help it, I should be sure not to do that. Thank you. Thank you for being on. I really appreciate you, dear.
You're welcome, and as I said, you have a nice day.
Too.
Bye.
Thank you. Uh-oh. And 3, 2, 1. That is it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Special shout out and thanks goes out to Mathias, to King, and to Ty Ptak for being on. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ty.
Ty Ptak, yeah.
Don't call him by his last name. Call him Ty. I like that. For being on the show, really appreciate it. And of course, special thanks goes out to Diggy and to Eddie for always helping me out. Gentlemen, y'all have any good words for the good people before we leave?
Well, good luck to the Miners in the last week of the regular season. As far as the pros go, look out, because Arizona's coming. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Eddie? I know what you want to say, but bro.
Arizona, I love y'all, man. Let's go have a good season 20, man. Let the chips fall where they may.
You know, when he does that, he needs. You need to put a cowboy hat and a little lasso before you do that, man. Maybe go to Texas Roadhouse and hop on that little cycle.
Oh, hell no.
For your birthday.
That's for females to do. I ain't doing that.
You know, I don't think I ever seen no man riding it.
That's right. Females do that.
I mean, but guys ride bulls.
We just had a family friend turn 80 years old, and he did it.
Let me tell you something.
Wow.
Those mechanical bulls, fellas get off on watching the females ride them things. I ain't jumping.
Oh, it ain't a mechanical bull, man. They bring out this little saddle thing on a sawhorse.
This is the same thing. Come on, man.
You ain't got to worry about falling off that. Well, never mind.
No. I look forward to watching the females ride it. Come on, man.
Oh my God, what has this turned into? Well, good luck to everybody this season. Not if you're playing us, of course, but I think it's going to be a fantastic, very competitive season. Just, have fun out there, y'all. This is what we're here for. Speaking of which, something that may not be so fun for people is I will have, just in case if you missed my post, I will have the revamped code of conduct rules ready very soon. It should be actually, I'm shooting for it to be ready by Saturday, but I gave myself enough time, which Monday was my deadline. So be on the lookout for that. And if you have any questions about it, please hit me up. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If you need some further clarification, even though it seems the way I'm writing it is going to be very clear. But yeah, I invite you to do that. So with that, I'm looking forward to bringing
This show's dropping when now?
Tomorrow.
Okay. And you said your deadline's Monday?
Yeah.
And you already posted about it in Gen Chat, or did you
League? Yeah. League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you posted early enough, and we're releasing this early enough. Everybody gonna forget about it anyways. Let's go.
Ass.
Get the rules.
Shut up, Diggy. I'm looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week, y'all. But until then, stay safe, treat each other well. For Diggy, for Eddie, Striker, we're out.
Eddie don't know the show's over. He's still eating.
Okay, the same damn turkey leg. Eating all show.
You see how big it was?
Yeah.
You know those pterodactyl legs they have in the Flintstones? That's what these things are.
I would hate to see Eddie actually sit at the table with a whole turkey, because he inhaled that thing. that thing is bare bones now.
Didn't stand a chance.
This is the first thing I had to eat today since like 7 o'clock this morning.
Why?
Because I had breakfast and I went to work, and then I didn't eat lunch. I went to Herb and get home, and so here we are.
I feel you.
If we would have been invited to Thanksgiving, we wouldn't have got a piece.
Bro, Thanksgiving was 6 days ago, and this is the last one. So you'd have had some. I just ate the last piece of chicken. I mean, piece of jerk turkey leg.
It looked good though.
Like, you ain't had jerk turkey? Oh
no, I never had it. I've never had it. Did you ever had jerk turkey?
I don't think I've had jerk turkey. I've had jerk chicken.
Yeah.
And, dude, I'll put
man,
jerk pork chops.
this is next level. I'm not eating another turkey unless it's jerked from here on out.
Oh, okay. Spoiled
I'll put it on
already.
everything. Now, I'll tell you what we did. We put a bunch of that Creole in the potato salad. It's good.
Is it good? Is it salty though?
Spicy. It's like a hot.
Okay, so it's not like hot and salty. Because you know, sometimes when you're using those Creole seasonings, it can have that salt in it already. And that's like the whenever you read the label on something, the very first ingredient is what it has the most of.
It's hot. It can
Yeah.
get if you put a lot in it, the heat will come. But it's not like that. It's not like that sweet heat, like that Jamaican jerk seasoning.
Okay. Cool.
It's not like a sweet thing. Like, that's a totally different flavor, but the heat's still there.
Okay. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I actually have another interview I'm getting ready to get on with as soon as we're done. So, and he's been waiting very patiently. So,
who that?
Mathias? Is it Mathis or Mathias?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I would think Mathis. But he's already been waiting an extra 20, 30 minutes because Eddie wasn't on time.
Is he a Greek god, Matthias? Is he like worshipped or something? No.
I know Midas wasn't. That's the dude that.
I'm just saying
that you're probably thinking of Leonidas.
No, close enough.
It's some kind of
Tell him I said what up.
Oh, will do, y'all. I'll see y'all later.
All right, bye.
Thank you.